Just ignore the two clowns over there.
Buonasera, and welcome to Fate's Grip, and thank you very much for joining us. We are all here but one because we're doing a sound test. Barclay's the Viper, your very own bard. I had to think of that for a second. It's been a week, guys, all right? So just give us some slack. Is doing a sound test.
I can't believe it's been a week.
It's been a week.
Yeah.
It's been a week.
Who's got their sound on?
I like this.
I'm
We've
about
got
to
sound tests coming from everywhere.
shut my
Guys,
mouth
we
full.
have a new microphone. So we have an amazing, cool little microphone that we're using through a mixer and stuff. You might have heard me talk about this. Why are you playing around with the camera? No, it's still fine. It's still fine. It's still good.
Because we were too far over.
Oh, okay, that's good. I like it. Although the backdrop now is a little bit off, as we can see, just to your
I'm just gonna
side.
push this back slightly
Yeah, you're
as
fine.
well.
Please do. We're just teasing, so feel free to hang and to comment on how amazing our setup is.
Yes.
Much
Thank you very
humble.
much, Thulrom. Episode 34, costs. We are costs.
Okay.
Yeah. Gold or souls? Who knows?
Coppers.
Coppers. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. See, what we do is we have people behind the curtains who basically just shimmer it every now and again for effect. They're freebies. We don't hire them or anything. They're just volunteers.
They come with the house.
They come with the house. Yeah, correct. So Barclays is out having a bit of a gander. Rook, I'll also looking at
I
that.
just pushed the camera back, so he's hoping.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, okay. No, well that's live now. That's live right now.
Oh,
Shuffle.
let me finish.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You do you. Yeah, just might need to shuffle or
Or do you want me to move the camera?
just the camera a little bit maybe. That's all good. So what was I
Towards you.
saying?
Ooh.
Can we
Oh,
table
E?
one first?
Table
Right.
one.
Is that too much?
That's what I think we're table.
Barclays is better looking than me.
What's table one?
The best table.
That's what he's asking us to do a voice check.
Oh, a voice check. Yes, go for it.
Check. Hello.
We're doing ASMR.
Can we do table 2 now?
Go for it.
I'd just like to do some table 2 ASMR, complete with dice roll.
All right. So am I table 3? Is that what's going on?
No, you're table god.
Table God. All right. So mic check for table God. A little voice. Singing is just sustained talking.
NVCDM said, in this episode, because they can see the name, in this episode the team calculates the taxes and duties owed on all the magic items they own.
And don't use. Don't
Yes.
use. And forget that they have.
I don't forget that I have stuff. I just never use it for fear that I'll need it later.
You're a hoarder. You're a dragon hoarder.
Yeah.
The dragons have
I
that
do that.
personality.
Oh my god, why have I never thought of that?
Barclays.
My next character was going to be a hoarder.
Barclays, please return.
Yeah, Barclays, you can come back now. I really appreciate you doing that.
You may have gotten lost in
If
my
you feel
body.
like any changes, you can come in and just tell us. Nice. Well, welcome, and we'll be starting very shortly. If there's any, please comment as well if there's any issues with the sound. If some people are hard to hear or something, we'll tweak it.
We're a lot softer than the other table.
Yeah, cool. Okay, good to know.
That's good.
It's because I got a loud ass voice.
Well, I'm gonna just turn up the gain a little bit.
Ooh, fancy.
What have we got to gain? Or what have we got to lose?
I'd like to thank Netherworld for the sweet, sweet taste of this
That's
beer.
can you test the mic?
Hello.
Test.
Hello.
Hello.
Just
Yeah, I
thank
can
Netherworld.
see there's that one underneath there, isn't it?
Shotgun.
Yeah, so...
This is
I
so
think it's
good.
better
Please
now.
taste
Yeah,
this.
cool.
This is the first one I drank.
Yeah, I can see the little game bar bouncing appropriately.
I can hear our own sound coming from Barclays outside the door.
And here's Barclays.
Whoa. Are you alright? Turn down your volume. What are you doing?
Was it yourself that said that Thulrom and yeah, cool. I'll turn up the game.
Did
So
you hear us?
We're at level 9. I'm just answering the chat. We're at level 9. So I do the overlay, and sometimes I have full-time work,
And those times, I finish at 4:45 or 5 o'clock, and we start at 6:45, and I have to go home, put on makeup, prepare dinner, and then come here.
Just to take care of all these kids.
It's true.
My like the vegetarian in me, the frightened thing I had to figure out today was how many roast chickens does it take to feed 5 grown men?
Turns out not a whole lot.
I called my mum. I was like, Mum.
What did you call her?
Huh?
What did you call her?
Mum. I call her more usually.
Amazing. Thank you so much for dinner. And yes, we are level 9, and happy to be there. Hopefully, even though everyone knows level 9, not hit point increase, whatever. Level 5 spells, whatever. Yeah, isn't that great? So let's start with some shout outs. If I can not lisp.
I'll go last.
Okay. I'll start. Just want to say thank you very much to all of our followers on Twitter. We reached just over 630. Super appreciative of your following us and checking us out either live or afterward. To the people who watch the YouTube videos directly after, overnight we get some ridiculous numbers.
Even on Twitch, we get ridiculous numbers.
Sorry, I think it's Twitch. Apologies. Yeah, sorry, on Twitch. So for everyone at home who watches while we sleep, basically, thank you very, very much.
Who watches us sleep?
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you. And once again, to anyone who has subscribed or gifted subscriptions, super appreciative. Thank you very, very much. I hope you're still enjoying what we do. And that's me, really. Who else has got stuff?
I'm going last. I said that already. Don't.
I'll take up the
Yeah,
challenge.
you go.
So actually piggybacking off of what Amara was saying, a lot of us actually do work, and surprisingly, I said actually, and there is a member of the group here who is actually a massive help for us and may not know it. And all of us decided to give him a little gift. He's also a budding DM in the future, so hopefully we might have something cute going on there.
He also plays in
the
my
Couch
campaign,
Goblin,
hey.
yeah, he also plays in Emily's campaign. The Couch Goblin, as you know him. I have a little something here.
Oh,
Pass
it down, pass it down.
the line.
No, come on, come in.
On stream.
The people
Come in.
can see the goblin.
Yeah, we need to enjoy the.
You can't see him. He's too tall.
Back in your chair.
Lean down though.
Yeah, he's tall.
You're just too tall. Ah, here he is.
He's the tallest goblin you've seen.
He's
Thank
a
you very much.
giant gob. He's a giant gob.
Yeah, go in the middle. Go in between. Go in between
You
the chairs.
could kill a
There
person
we
with
go.
those.
These are actually
There we
quite heavy.
Oh, really? What are they made of?
Lee Metal.
Woven alloy.
Ooh.
I don't know if it's easy to see on the screen, but thank you very much to everyone for some very nice
And courtesy
there's
of
some,
Kraken Dice.
yeah, they are actually quite a
They're
beautiful set of Kraken
Yeah.
dice. Yeah.
These are much nicer.
They weren't free, those ones, though.
Do they have heft and girth?
She did. She
They have a girthy heft to them.
You're gonna feel it if you encounter it.
Thank you very much, everyone. That's pretty amazing.
No, thanks for your
Hey,
support.
thanks.
I'm very chuffed
Yeah.
with that.
Beautiful.
exists, everybody.
That's really nice. What an amazing thing. Excellent. So, what else have we got? Gunnar, do you have anything?
It was someone's birthday a little while ago, and I ordered them a gift, and it took a very long time to come all the way from the other side of the planet. Do you know whose birthday it
do
was?
I wonder-
This guy's.
Is it? Was it?
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Who else
I don't
had
know.
a
I
birthday?
thought we celebrated
This guy.
my birthday.
This guy had a birthday.
I think it was this gentleman.
I didn't have. My birthday's a whole year from now. Oh, far out.
You were going to say something else, weren't you?
Yeah, it was. Oh my God. No, really?
Yeah. It was from all of us.
Oh man.
And if you'd like to open the
Yeah,
board.
please read every message on the front page.
Aw. Do you want me to read them out?
So they're from our characters, so
Aw.
yes.
So may House Orion bless you with haste for writing your next adventure for us to enjoy. Your minion?
Yeah.
Minion Rook. Thank you so much. I was going to write something witty and smart, but I can't remember it. Char. Hi, Spirit Guide. Thank you for always watching over me and protecting me, blessing me with these friends. May Ilyana always keep you safe. Amara Sanari. P.S. Cool stories. Plus, don't let me rip arrows out of chests. Congratulations, my friend. And yet there was no need for you to imagine the very best birthday celebration ever, for your man Barclays can bring you the joy of 1,000 taverns. Haha. Let us see your entourage in Throneport very soon. Till then, be well. Thank you very much, Barclays the Viper. Hey, it's me, Gunnar. Hope your birthday was fun. Parties are the best. Also, I hope you enjoy the book. Books are cool. Okay, bye. And look at this writing. May Ado guide your hand, humble storyteller. Also, I think you owe me some gold. Till we next meet at Thulrum. Oh man! A hard copy of this cover. Oh yeah, no one knows. This is what I got. Exploring Eberron. Thank you so much, guys. Super appreciative.
So actually,
thank you.
A book that Keith Baker has written to expand and kind of detail Eberron even further. So.
Just in case, your storytelling doesn't get as rich and you need some ideas.
Look. I need that every day of the week. So thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciative.
While we're doing gifts,
Yeah.
Yes.
a couple of things I've got to shout out. First of all, I want to bring up Meeples and Dragons, our friends again, supported us since the very, 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 very beginning of this campaign, who have also requested that we do an escape room with them soon, which I am absolutely 1,000,000% down with. I want to shout something out that they actually shared with us over this lunch. They are creating class glasses, so drinking glasses with the class, like the D&D 5e classes on them. These have been in production for such a long time, and they're finally posting them on their Twitter, so you can see all of the different classes. They are etched in. They look schmick.
They are.
That's amazing.
They are
Pretty amazing,
amazing.
actually.
I know I'll be buying a monk one because they are just.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who designs them? Who designs them?
It's the same, or if not similar, art that we have on our shirts.
Yeah,
like
sweet.
the one that Gunner's wearing at the
Awesome.
moment.
They did tell us the name of the artist. I forget.
Oh, that's okay.
Super cool though. They look very, very nice. I'm just looking at them on the Twitter at the same time. To our resubscribers, Insidious Risk and NVCDM, it's always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. But a gift for the stream. So last week we said that Kraken Dice sent us a box full of clickety crack pretty rocks, I think is the words that I used. So tonight we're going to announce our first ever giveaway on Fate's Grip. We're going to be giving away a legendary set, Shifting Sands. This set was only just released on the 24th of September, so it is a brand new set. It has been extremely popular. I have them in front of me. So you get it with every Kraken set. You get 4d6, 2d20s, and one of the rest of the dice. So here's a look at the d20s. I don't know how well we can see that.
Pretty well.
But they are super pretty. They are glittery and they're like an orange color. I'm gonna post them to the stream. Now, in comparison with this 12, in addition to this 12-piece set, you will also get the exclusive Legendary Titan dice. This big boy is a giant D20. I think it's 55 mil.
$40 US.
$40 US for this dice.
Absolutely.
The giveaway that we're announcing
Yeah.
is worth around $80 US.
Yeah.
Amazing dice,
Jeez.
super nice and weighted as well. To get your hands on these, there are a couple of different things we're going to do. I'm going to post a tweet directly after I finish this shout out. Like and retweet that. A like counts as one entry, a retweet counts as an entry. And if you tune in to the rest of the episode, we will be dropping a code word. If you reply to the tweet with a code word, you will receive an additional entry. So that's 3 entries in total, 3 chances to win this set. We'll announce an end date next week.
Amazing. All right, well, let's give stuff away.
Yes,
Thank you.
And thank you, Kraken Dice. Kraken Dice, you guys have been so amazing. Kraken Dice reached out to us when we had 100 followers. So
Super generous,
we've
yeah.
grown since then. They have been amazingly supportive. And we're just big fans of them.
Yeah.
We love their dice.
we all use Kraken.
Definitely.
It's a
Yeah.
Kraken.
Actually, what Kraken dice does everyone have?
I have 4 different sets in front of me. So I have these guys, Glowquarium. I have another legendary set. I have a Mystic Fairy set and a Mystic Dragon set as well. And then I have a semi-precious set at home and another set somewhere else.
Ridiculous. I mean, that just makes up for all of ours, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. I like my semi-precious set. It's very
Yeah.
nice. Stone. It's
Cool.
cool.
What these ones are.
They're Kraken.
They are Kraken.
Yeah.
They are Kraken, and I've only rolled Krakens with this Kraken.
Ooh.
But they are gorgeous. They are beautiful.
Amazing.
Go.
Anything else we want to yell out before we start?
Oh yeah, we gotta play.
Oh yeah.
There is a game. There is a game ahead. Yeah, I know. Get into your characters, guys, and everyone, because in which case, let us commence the recap from session 33 and play session 34. Fate's Grip costs. So, where we left off. Just going to turn my little page here. You all, Thulroms Five, felled Obradin's associate, a powerful mind flayer who had trapped many within the doors of the corridor, the hall between worlds. The storm giant that you befriended was freed by the defeat of the Elune, but at a price, Thulrom and Rook being petrified. You found aid in Obradin, who helped Thulrom. Rook, however, was declared dead but for a moment or two by Gunner's benefactor and came back to life, but not because of the restorative magic of Thulrom. You all then left with Obradin, a promise from him to guide you out of this maze, and you did travel, but back to the Mournland, where a mass of buildings broken over the time and ghosts rummaging through the rubble existed. He explaining his intentions for Gunner and his own, to gather those with psionic powers and to put a stop to them growing in mental strength, as he had done all those years ago, and to isolate himself and Gunner from the world, so not as to be hunted for his supposed crimes, and not to appear threatening. He had made a spell by his own design to weaken the magically gifted, and thought this could be something that could be done on a larger scale. And so, you were transported back to Shan with his help for the next step in your journey, leaving behind desolation for opportunity and another chance, while the second piece of the wand Amara seeks is found. So, you all fade and you no longer see the grove before you, Obradin, nor the desert and the desolation beyond the buildings. But your eyes almost get clouded over, and you feel yourselves lighten as you put your feet on solid ground again, and instead of this wind that was picking up slightly, instead of the ghostly figures around you, there now appears to be living beings, buildings, and an overwhelming scent of lavender, almost burning the nostrils. As you look around, you blink for a moment, you're in Shan once more, safe, all together. You feel kips running around your neck in almost a relief. and then hiding again. As in front of you, you see this street. It's unfamiliar. None of you have been in this street before, but you all just simply appear there. There's only one person that seems to have spied you simply emerging from nothing. And this orc sort of looks wide-eyed, carrying this backpack with sticks and wood for kindling, and just turns and runs in the opposite direction and around the left-hand corner, out of sight. But in front of you, in fact, you're looking at a row of private homes, all one story, all ramshackle on the left-hand side, all bunched together. And there's no alleyways between these homes, and the thatched roofs are hastily built. And you could tell from your vantage point that if it rained, it would probably get in. On the right-hand side, opposite, there seems to be a row of shops, very similarly built of wood and brick that doesn't seem to be well made. There seems to be gaps in between. These open buildings of 1 and 2 stories that make up these shops have different names on them. Over the top, you can see, when I can get back to my actual thing here. There it is. There's a sign above one tar-covered wooden and brick building called Death's Door. And you can see that just outside of it, hanging over a balcony, there's all of these herbs dried in the sun. That's just filling your nostrils with this burning sensation of this lavender and primrose and chamomile and other fungus that takes a sense of this soily type of scent. You also see another sign on the shop just one further away, Herbie's Herbs. You see one more beyond that has a very long name, Licky at the Lavender Livery. And the one beyond, they are all open. They all have 1 or 2 patrons that seem to be gaining or getting things from purchasing things from the shopkeepers. One of them being War on Drugs.
What is happening?
We've got a bit of a dance there. Nice,
That's
amazing. That was really animated. I like it. So the shop is called War on Drugs. The one beyond that, Frida's Fiery Friends. So there's a group of about 5 or 6 shops, all crammed next to each other. And you can see people going in and out of these shops, probably a good 10 to 20 people, just going from one to another. And as you notice, they all seem to be very calm, happy, extremely just almost in a trance as they just walk along or sit just in the middle of the street. You can hear the distant sounds of crowds and the city proper. Looking up, it's the same time as where you just left. It's about mid-afternoon. The sun is behind, or half behind, one large tower. Looking around, you see that you're probably in the lower quarters, but you're not quite sure which ward. So, what would you like to do?
Have I been here before?
Not in this particular street, no, but you can make a survival check for me.
Licky's livery. That's livery like clothing and things of that nature, right?
From where you're standing, you can't actually see the wares. You'd have to walk a little bit beyond the other shops to see this particular one. But yes, that is the title of the sign, and that's your understanding.
10.
A 10? Yeah, you probably gather that you are you're probably in Lower Jura,
Uh-huh.
so just above the cogs, essentially.
Okay.
Either that or lower central. You can't make it out because they are quite close together.
Right. Okay. Does it feel like that this is kind of like a recreational area?
Yeah. You gather that from the smells and the
Yeah.
scents. You'd probably find things here that might not otherwise be sold in more favorable areas. The bazaar and the Memphis markets in Memphis Middle. So yes, there are things here that you've smelt before.
So these people that looking like they're having a good time.
Yes,
Yes,
definitely.
I've noticed that they are having a good time for common reasons that a lot of people would know about, right?
Correct.
Yay. Good. I like where we are. Is anyone... actually, how's everyone feeling?
I was about to ask after the last events we've just been through. Is everyone okay?
Are you asking us if we're okay?
Well, yes.
Rook, you died.
Well, apparently not. I'm standing here before you.
It's true. He's come back with an enlightened hand.
I still don't understand what's with the hand.
Did you see?
No, never mind. No, I did. I was standing outside with you.
You certainly were. You were
Yeah.
standing outside.
Yeah, I think he...
He heard rumors.
I think he means, like, what's the deal? There has to be a deal, right? Like, they don't just kill you and then give you a hand.
Who's
I've always
they?
had a hand.
I don't know, whoever his god is. Do you have a god?
Well,
You don't have a god. I've asked you this before.
What happened? How do you survive?
up until recently, I've not paid much stocks in...
That must cost you a lot.
No, I don't pay for any.
What? I'm so confused.
In the Celestial, but during my journey,
It was Ada, wasn't it?
no,
Oh.
couldn't be further from Ada,
It was Ilyana, wasn't it?
nor her.
Okay, but like, who was it?
Onatar.
Who?
Yes, I'm trying to figure that out myself.
Have I heard of this god?
Anyone who'd like can make religion checks.
Shakes head. No, actually. It's a kraken.
I've not heard.
+1.
Amara's been hanging out
You're
with
just
this guy.
focused, Thor.
I've been
You're
hanging
just
out with Rook
focused.
too much. It's a 21.
Wow. Anyone else over 16?
Nope.
DC 16.
Yep.
Mine was 17.
17. Okay. Gunnar, you are aware that Onatar is the god of three primary things that humanoid races give thanks to. The first is fire. He's this being is essentially the creator of flame, and for good, for warmth, and for and for food and for life. The second is of the forge. Fire molds metal and molds weapons and armor, and the dwarves primarily worship Onatar to give thanks for forging and giving ideals to and inspiration to the forge. And the third thing is Warforged. The Warforged themselves were, it is said, were hatched. The idea was hatched to a gnome to create Warforged via Onatar, and his ideas for another type of being. So Warforged actually do worship him quite thoroughly as well. Those who are of the religious mind. Now, Amara, you know all this as well. You are aware that this being can take the form of a dwarf which is the most common form, and gods themselves walk among Corvair, walk among the populace to see how their worshippers are. So the most common form of this particular god is a dwarf. However, he's known to be he's known to have the form of a
He's gnome.
gnome. He's known to be a brass dragon in his more comfortable form as well.
Interesting.
So
Yes.
he made you a hand?
Did he make you anything else?
Yeah, did he make you anything else?
Well, he gave me my life back.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
fair.
pretty good.
That's fair.
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
I must admit, I do have questions about the situation that I've just found myself in, and when time permits, I wish to go visit Purbach, a friend in Shan. I believe he's still here.
You've spoken about Purback before, right?
Yes, well, he may be able to give information or help with Breland and the Warforge, the Lord of Blades. I was unfortunately granted dire news.
Wait, did we not learn about something?
Yeah, the Lord of Blades has moved, isn't he? Like, he's north. North?
He's close.
He's close.
He's north of Shan, as far as you've been told, moving westward towards the demonic wastes to attempt to free Tiamat.
Was that Obradin that told us this?
Obradin mentioned that he was not far from Shan, trying to avoid it, and is currently in the process of moving around Shan currently.
Should we check on Feriso and Faye and
Yeah,
Grasso?
we should. We should. I want to ask Feriso about your friend.
He's not really my friend.
Well, what am I supposed to call him? I don't know.
Obradin, that's his name. Sorry, that was sarcastic.
Gunnar,
It wasn't meant to be sarcastic, it just came out that way.
did you learn that sarcasm from me?
Maybe.
I'm proud.
Is there any of the usual interesting wares out the front of these shops, or do you have to go in?
No, there are small shelves of a rotting wooden variety, dark wood, directly in front of you, which is the one that says Herbie's Herbs. That seems to be that have little signs of how much the herb or whatever is above it costs. Did you want to look over at it?
Yeah, just while they're having the chat there, I was just like glancing over, and I'm just really looking to see what would be good to go in my pipe,
Okay, sure.
so I can stick it in my pipe and smoke it.
These things are, in fact, there are different fungus-like things. There are pinks, whites, combination of dark blue fungus. There are unfamiliar-looking grass-like herbs as well that are just laying in a bit of a pile. The majority of wares seems to be liquids in vials. One of them is called Fantastic Blaster.
Oh man. Yeah.
Another one is called the Living Man's Drink.
These are the potions.
They seem to be vials of some kind.
Yeah.
Corvarian Fine Wine is the name of another. Again, a light blue in a very, very small amount, only mils. That seems to be in another little vial. So Corvair Fine Wine. And there are others. If you want to continue, I can continue with telling you.
No, that's okay. Are you guys still? Are they still having their chat? You still having a chat?
Yeah. Thulrom. I'm to understand that the Warforged, the Lord of Blades, is in league with Tiamat.
Yeah, someone makes sense. All servants of evil flock to Tiamat.
So it should be a priority to end this Warforger's life.
Yes, but he's your friend, isn't he?
The Lord of Blades.
Or was he? Wait,
Thulrom, are you okay?
no, I'm confused. Honestly.
I don't count.
Do you know what? I think this might have been a time where Thulrom was unconscious or chloroformed.
I hope not.
Ah, yes, it was a time.
I'm just giving him some, out of character, I'm just giving him some gracing period to forget.
Yes. Yeah, no, this was. I was chloroformed that. So I remember a while ago.
Okay.
But then then what do you need of me?
Does this, being a priest of Edo, does this not alarm you?
There have always been followers of Tiamat, and the followers of Edo have always opposed them.
There's a strong army that leads its way towards past Shan, which may cause trouble into the demon wastes to try and summon Tiamat.
And the king and the 12 will oppose them. Do you want to go to this fight? Fight a battle there?
I feel like we should do something to at least alert, or if you know of any priests or allies that may be able to support this cause.
You were with me in the Temple of Edo. They're not particularly fond of me, and not particularly quick to action. But we could go and consult the 12. Feriso in particular.
If this is the course of action you think that's best, the church wouldn't arise to champion against such an evil.
Well, when you were there, we spoke to the high priest together, and they would not.
They might not know of how dire the situation is, though.
Well, I'll write to them.
You'll write to them.
Yeah, but don't hold your breath.
Dragon breath?
Fire breath.
Yeah, don't breathe on me again.
While they're having that
I
chat,
I saved your life.
I'll walk into the Herbie's Herbs.
Okay. You do see two patrons that seem to be sitting together at a small round table with two chairs, wooden as well, and they appear to be sipping on what looks to be a very wide, short glass of this dark green, thick liquid. And as each time that one of them takes a sip, they burp this, and this huge bubble comes out, and it just pops. There's this sluggish, and then and it just falls onto the table. And so the table itself is actually quite slick, and they just look at each other like this, very just wavering, and just smiling at each other. You hear a voice coming from behind the shop front proper. Hello. And you see, looking over, this extra small looking halfling, tiny in relation to other halflings that you've seen before. She's wearing this, what? A quarterling, that's right. She's wearing this dark blue braided hair, almost, and she appears to have these same blue coloured eyes, very wide. How can I help you?
Oh my, hello, how are you?
I am well, sir.
I like your hair. They match your eyes.
And her dress is also this beautiful long flowery dress, white with the same coloured blue roses, sort of painted on. Thank you, sir. What would you like?
Well, I would actually like to know if you stock the usual fine tobaccos for a good old pipe smoker like me.
You felt bad about that, didn't you? Barclays is broken.
Yes.
Yes, sir. You need some elven pipeweed.
Yes, I need to stock up. So I do have my pouch with me and I'd like to get that full again.
Very well.
However, we've travelled far, my companions and I. I'm wondering, do you sell like a recreational gift pack?
Oh yes, sir. A small portion of many things that we have here.
Yes, like a fine tasting ensemble with the right type of positive side effects.
Some things affect things differently here, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But I will give you the sample pack, yes.
Excellent.
But it will run about 65 gold pieces.
Oh, that's fine. Yes, that seems reasonable. That's reasonable, isn't it?
As far as I'm aware, so yes. It's
Okay.
fair price.
Excellent. Well, I shall have the gift pack, and just in this gift pack, what do we have?
Okay, so in this in this gift pack, you have a multitude of things. You have a flask of like a sand, like just sand in it. That is called Feel Right. You have another red potion that says Bloody Eyes.
Bloody eyes.
Ooh. You have another
Sounds safe.
that is called Quran Coffee. Another actually is the Fantastic Fantastic Blaster.
Uh-huh.
Another that says, written on the side of it in another little flask, The Man's Drink. Corvarian Fine Wine, as you noticed outside. Another one that actually does say Mind Flayer. Let me know when you're done.
Yeah.
Drake Root,
Uh-huh.
the Elven Pipeweed,
Uh-huh.
one that just says Pipeweed,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and another that says Ranilla. Ranilla. So a multitude of different ones, and this very short halfling says, "There is one shot, one sample, so it's one dose per."
One dose. Got you, understand. Now, do you have something caffeinated for me here?
Coffee.
Excellent. Can I, get a regular...
Yes. And she
It's
turns.
flat white.
She turns at the word regular. She simply turns, and she has next to her, or just behind her, she has this very, very large, sort of almost like a pit where there's sand and fire coming up from the bottom of this fireplace, and it seems to be heating this sand. And as she takes a small tin or metal-looking receptacle, she fills it with this jug of dark brown liquid, and she pours it into this receptacle, and she moves it around the sand, and it becomes really hot, and it bubbles over, and then she taking a drink. Excellent, good. Hydrate. Thank you for hydration rule. And she pours it into another sort of metallic cup, and she puts a lid over it and hands it to you. 7 silver pieces.
How much?
7.
7.
Yes.
Silver. Yes, that's fine. And I'll hand her the 7 silver pieces, and I've also paid her for the gift pack as well.
Okay.
Excellent. So I stow away everything, but I pull out my pipe as well, and I put a little bit of tobacco in there.
The elven pipeweed.
Yeah, just the...
Cool.
Oh, actually... Excuse me. What is your recommendation, just for a mild experience right now?
A mild experience is simply the pipeweed. I would probably steer away from the elven one unless you particularly want to enjoy yourself.
Excellent. What I do is I actually just mix them both together.
Mix them together, okay. I'm gonna roll. Are you trying to do that sneakily?
Yeah.
Can you please roll me a stealth check?
Or a sleight of hand.
Yeah, sorry. Sleight of hand is good.
It's just saying that because his modifier is better.
That's fine. No, I agree though.
Oh, Chris!
Done that.
What is
that
it?
Kraken?
What is it?
It's a kraken.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that first roll for
Plus
this or not?
what?
It's not +9. That's needs to be modified. That's 26.
+6, my goodness. Deftly and with speed and guile, you mix the two together, and it is unnoticed by this young.
Hey, she's been well compensated today.
She appeared to actually try and see what you're doing, but she was distracted by some other coffee and looking over at the two patrons that are sitting. So, well done. And she says, "Does anyone else want anything of your friends?"
Well, I've got the gift pack, and I'm intending to, when we get the time, to share it a little. But you know what? If they like what you do, like your wares, we might be back.
Please do. Don't worry about the others. They sell the same thing, but their quality is not as good.
Ah, we shall see. But I'll take your word for it.
And they're more expensive.
Okay. A light. And can you light my...
And she takes out what looks to be this long, cinnamony looking stick, and she puts it into the fire below, and it produces this beautiful cinnamony scent. And it's quite long, and she puts it over the top of that base, and it lights up and crackles slightly, and produces quite a wonderful sort of rosemary scent, and it's got some soil to it too.
I just go, you know what, my blue-eyed friend? I could spend all day here. And I look outside, I'm like... And then... I bid you good day. And I take my flat white...
It's a black coffee.
That is my black coffee. And I walk out of the shop with my pipe and my coffee. Yeah. Good morning.
Is it in one of those like styrofoam cups?
Yeah, what is it in?
It's in a metallic cup that seems with a sort of a flap lid on it. You've taken some of that pipeweed, haven't you?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Just roll me a just a Constitution saving throw, please.
17.
Okay. Sort of, you feel initially the familiar feeling that you'd get with this sort of tobacco. It's this deep, almost. It is very, very smoky in its nature, with that hint of rosemary really down in the lungs. And as you sort of puff out, it creates a lot of smoke, and this light grey, and you don't feel overly different, but you do feel a little bit more relaxed.
You feel good?
Yeah.
All right.
You left a shop with just these huge rungs of dried garlic, rosemary, these other bushes that just hang from the ceiling on all sides as well, producing just this overwhelming attack on the senses. And you join your friends.
All right, and I say, if anyone would like to join me, you just let me know.
Barclays, are you?
Join you where?
What are you smoking right now?
I'm relaxing right now.
What are
Been
you
through a lot.
drinking?
This is a... Would you like a sip?
Barclays, what is it?
This is called... Is it called coffee?
I know what coffee is.
This is a long black coffee from this shop.
Why do they call it a long black?
Because it's long. Is my cup long?
Looks quite.
It's not. It's a mug. You don't recall the shopkeeper calling it a long black specifically.
Okay.
Although
coffee.
back where you're from, Barclays, there are long blacks, and this looks similar. So to you, it would be the same sort of thing.
Yeah, it's pretty common. I'm like, hospitality's my... Look, it's a nice coffee. I've tasted it. It's quite good. Would you like a sip?
I haven't had coffee before.
Is there anyone selling
You can have a
anything on the
sip.
streets?
Make a
It's not
perception
going to
check
hurt you. Make you feel good.
Can I ask?
just before you do.
Yeah.
And are you looking for anything specifically?
Just somebody, not really, just somebody, just merchants, anybody on the street really who's selling anything.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I'm just trying
That's okay. No problem.
17.
17. Yeah, you do see now coming into the street and leaving it. You've seen in the interim while Barclays has been bargaining a couple of carts that seem to have these a couple of carts filled with just apples, very very fresh. Another that seemed to have carried this almost clothesline worth of just vestments and long pants and work clothes, and this female tall orc was just pulling it along, and she seemed to have also had within her teeth it's just this needle and the thread sort of dangling from it, dark braided hair, and she walked off, or she's in the distance actually a little bit more. You do notice her still. She's wearing this long green like forest green dress. You also notice that there were a couple of people that have now come and gone that have yelled out, "The Korenberg! The Korenberg!" Speaking of a particular newspaper.
That is what I would go towards.
Yep. Okay. You do have time to go towards that. This young boy in these ragged clothes of brown and black is just holding this bunch underneath his arm and just yelling out, "The Korenberg! The Korenberg! Do not leave Shan! King Baranel locks us in! King Baranel locks us in! Do not leave! Armies in the north! Do not leave Shan! The Boromar clan! Read all about it! The Boromar clan is all about taking over the lower quarters! Beware! Beware! Do not go out at night!"
No, President, give me one of those papers.
"A silver, sir."
I'd flick him a silver.
And he says, "Can I have some more?" No, he doesn't say that. He continues on.
Before he goes, I'm just gonna call him up. Is there anything about what happened at the jousting? The aerial jousting the other day?
There's an article, yes.
Where is it?
Page 2.
Page 2. I'm flicking page 2.
All right.
Did it make any mention of anyone's 5 in particular? That's what I'm looking for.
You open page 2 and it looks as though there is a beautiful sketch of the hollow tower inside the hollow tower, in the very dead center of the article. And around it, making this rectangle page of this light parchment, the title says "Chaos at the Hollow Tower." And then a little bit below that, another almost a question, who is next? And you see below, and as you read, you gather that eyewitnesses claim to see jousting like normal, but then this uproar of chaos as people were out of their minds attacking each other, and some heroes seem to step in. It doesn't specifically mention Thulroms Five, but it does seem to mention the heroes per se, although looking at the picture you don't necessarily see yourselves, but just a ruckus of crowd sketched in. And it just continues on with how the crowd was dispersed by some unknown power, and the perpetrators have not yet been caught, but that the Shan Guard is investigating.
I was gonna lean in and like read over your shoulder. Oh, I guess Thulroms 5 just isn't that memorable.
But we're heroes. Look, I show the others.
It's kind of our fault though that happened. So
Barclays, is this coffee gonna hurt me?
While she says that, I blow a ring of smoke. Perfect ring of
Into
smoke.
her face.
At my face?
No.
You've done it before. I'll let you just go ahead with it. You were going to do something, Rook. Apologies.
Oh, that's okay. Are we in the area of the Woodcrafter that I got the dragon?
No. This lower, the lower Jura is a little bit away from there. You're looking for
So it's still up a couple,
up,
is it? Okay,
yes.
alright. In which case, I'm
upper
probably
central.
Upper central.
There was something else in that paper about the city being locked down.
Yeah.
Yep. So front page is essentially an article that is titled "Shan in Lockdown. King Borinel calls curfew," and
Curfew.
it
Sounds familiar.
it reads essentially that as of 2 days' time, if the king demands, if the king sees that the city is under threat from a passing warforged or a rumored passing warforged army, King Boronel may call a curfew and shut the gates. So it doesn't read as though it's in effect yet, and it says that it would be very well received by the populace, and imploring everyone not to panic, and also saying that the guard will be tripled, and you'll see it when it happens.
I turn to Rook and say, it seems everybody is appropriately concerned.
Well, the amassed army that we were to understand from when we were in the Mournlands could easily attack Breland, destroy New Siri. Is that right? New Siri, the refugee camp?
Siri.
Siri.
Sire.
Siri.
New Sire.
Yeah, new Sire. Close,
New
that's
Sire,
right.
New Sire.
Who, Siri?
Easily destroy all the refugees in New Sire and cause havoc for Shan, and if not, and they make their way straight to the Demon Wastes, imagine the havoc they can produce if they actually summon Tiamat.
You are right. We must go and meet the king or Feriso at least.
Maybe starting with the 12?
Is that? Right now, is Tiamat more powerful than this other Fraser Blue?
With that new question, I'll get you to roll another religion check. Religion? No, go Arcana
Yeah, I think
for
we're
this
in
one,
the
actually.
and stuff.
Are we all like near each other,
Yeah.
or are they away? Okay.
Actually, no, Thulrom, you've come back to Rook now, so you've...
I just said to Amara, you'll have to trust me. And as I hand my coffee, I also then blow a little bit more smoke, and I aim to blow a love heart through the ring that I blew earlier.
Okay. A love heart. Look, I'll get you to roll just a straight... let me
Performance
see.
check.
Look, performance is one thing, but...
But
But this one?
lip dexterity.
Yeah. Look, actually, yeah, dexterity check.
All right. Fine.
But this isn't one you're not familiar with, so do it at disadvantage, please.
Oh, how do you know I'm not familiar? You're the DM. That's right. You know everything.
He's the god.
If it's lip dexterity, can get Molestra to vouch for him.
Oi.
Lol.
All right. So, is it Dex saving throw?
No, just check.
Check. Okay. All right. Oh man. Okay. Oh wait.
What are you doing?
Oh no, it's
Top
that
of
one
top,
there.
yes.
Yeah. 11.
You all see a beautiful circle within a ring move through the air. The ring appearing first, this circle that has a couple of what look to be starts of angles.
That's a butt.
It's move through it in a faster pace. The effect works, but the in terms of going through, but the execution is a bit off.
How does this coffee taste? I've never drank it before.
It's actually quite sweet. It's strong, however, and you feel yourself just take a moment to breathe it in. It's this. It has a definite.
Hand it back.
That's it. It has a definite strong taste of alcohol, but it doesn't appear. It doesn't seem to have the effect though. What'd you roll?
So, I used my psi boosted talent. So Gunnar will, while you're doing all this, he just sits down on the ground and he starts to kind of meditate in the same that Amara has taught him. Closes his eyes for a little bit and he faintly begins to glow, a golden glow. 26.
Whoa! Far out.
Yeah. Roll 14 plus 4 plus 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Strength is is a very, very broad subject when it comes to gods specifically. Very broad, because the strength of a god from the labels and the books and all of the research you've done is no one can really pinpoint where the strength of a god comes from, and comparing it, because especially someone like Tiamat and Fraser Blue, there's no instance that you recall that one has versed the other or has come against them in combat. And if that ever did happen, that would really signal in a mass destruction of an entire area of Corvair. It would devastate the countryside. There would be a huge amount of loss. The theories are that they do work with different types of magics. Fraser Blue seems to be one of illusion, and while Tiamat is simply brute force. A lot of their power comes from their followers, and Tiamat seems to come up a little bit, peak a little bit over Fraser Blue in that regard. A lot of people seem to think that Fraser Blue has followers, yes, but not of the draconic, chromatic type, and that's where a lot of dragons that follow Tiamat would boost her strength. Toe to toe, you can imagine from your remembrance that Fraser Blue would still be a close match, but perhaps only just being bested by Tiamat, if luck was on her side, because even though Fraser Blue has enormous strength of illusionary power, Tiamat perhaps has ways to overcome that. Resistance.
That was really sweet. Tasted like alcohol.
Yes. Would you like a smoke?
Good influence this episode.
The cost of.
I don't think so. I don't think Scenario would be happy if I did that.
Alright, well if Scenario wants to chill out sometime, you let me know.
Okay.
Remember, Amara,
Thank
you may only live once.
Well, I mean,
Sometimes you live twice.
yeah, maybe. You live twice.
Gunnar has a point.
I will say that I know we have a lot of things to do while we're here in Shan, but I would also like to revisit my monastery if we can at some point.
Right, but I did hear that we were... Yes, we should. As far as the order by which we do our next things... the 12. Yes? Feriso, should we see our friend? Is that right? So what do you think?
I don't know.
3.
I don't know if you guys recall this happening, or maybe I was by myself. And you were dead, and you were paralyzed at this point in time. But Obradin appeared as Feriso initially, and then appeared as himself, and then tried to when I tried to make a deal with him, he asked me to bring Feriso to him, and I said no. But maybe we should ask, if we're gonna meet up with Feriso anyway, maybe we should ask him if he knows of Obradin. It sounds like there's history there, or at least, if not history, maybe beef. Is that the term? Is that the term, Buckley's? Beef?
Has he got beef? Is that the question? He may have
No,
beef.
I mean, is the term beef?
I think it's a good idea. At least we can forewarn him if he's not aware.
About the...
Wait, why are we
About the
eating
beef.
About the beef.
Just to complicate the logistics of this furthermore, did anyone else want to look at their dragon mark?
The what?
Oh yeah, the dragon marks.
Oh, we're gonna get the dragon marks.
I don't know if we'll get those anymore.
Why not?
Oh look, I showed the second page. We're heroes.
You... What a compelling argument.
Why?
Well, there's that, and also I don't know if we might be heroes, but they might not see it that way.
Actually,
They may see us as people that attract trouble.
how long have we been gone? Can I have a look at the date there on that newspaper?
Yeah. How long have I shown you that? How long have we been gone?
From the entrance to Obradin's home, that he has now sold, and
Hey, you made it up.
no, and traveling through the corridor and exiting out the Mournland and back here, it seems to be just a day. So it's the same day, it seems.
Okay, well let's I think the most pressing thing we need to do is see Regav and Osei and Feriso. And then from there we can decide what our next move is. Does that sound okay?
Maybe get some marks and check out your temple.
Monastery. Temple.
Check out
Fine.
his temple. All right.
He just
Someone has a temple.
He just said that his temple isn't very welcoming of him. I don't know if that's a good idea.
They're welcome. They just want to do anything we ask them to do.
Okay, well let's start with Feriso and Osei and Regab. Gunnar, can you send them a message?
No.
Oh, are you tired?
Yeah.
I thought you weren't tired anymore.
No, it's not the same thing.
Oh, okay.
I only have so much energy I can use in a day. Before it's just like,
The psychic stuff, right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Was anything in my gift pack from Herbie's Herbs appropriate for
Oh,
minors?
wait. I have one left.
For what, sorry?
You could do it again. Once.
Good for minors, like kids.
It's like my last big one.
I mean,
I feel like I should keep that just in case.
I know, but are we not...
perhaps I can help.
You can send a message?
Yes, I can. I'm going to go over to Barclays and
You can send a message.
yeah, I can.
Why is this the first time you're telling this?
It requires a tremendous amount of energy.
Yeah, I know that. I'm aware.
Yes. So I go over to Barclays and I'm going to say,
I
"Can
didn't
I
know
borrow
you
your
could
sleep
send
for a
this."
moment?" So I'm going to see if we'll find a couple ways to sleep. I'm going to use sending. Before I go, I'm going to turn to the others. What do you want me to say to Feriso?
Well, first of all, get his name right.
Feriso. What do you want me to say to him?
We should tell him to meet us somewhere. Or ask him where he is.
Maybe we should ask him if he's okay.
Yeah, but we should make sure that we also find a place, make it specific. Hey Feriso, hope you're okay. Where can we meet you
Yes.
to talk about what the fuck is going on?
Where and when? Because he might not be available.
How
straight away.
quickly? When and how quickly can we meet you? He needs to know that it's pressing.
I think you can express that with tone.
Hmm.
There's only so many words you can use, so I feel like you should save the words and express it with tone.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but Thulrom doesn't have much tone.
I know.
I do. Alright, so.
Can you say it with as much energy and enthusiasm and inflection as you can?
I lean into the copper wire and I go,
This message.
I need
No.
I need copper wire. So I'm going to go, Feriso,
His comforter.
we have extremely dire and urgent pressing news. Where and when can we meet you?
Hope you're okay. Say that.
Thulrom.
And he's 5.
5.
It's 5.
Okay. You immediately receive a reply in your mind, Thulrom, and it says his specific voice as well comes into play.
Someone just commented, "You pooping?"
Lol.
If you've watched Critical Role Season 2, you will understand why that's really fucking funny. Or if you like poop, you'll also find it funny.
The reply
We know
states,
who likes poop now.
from Feriso, because you immediately know that it is from him, It is good to hear from you. We are at the Mulgrave University. Myself, the dragon-marked representatives, and the 12 of Arcanix. Meet us here immediately. Your dragon marks await.
Ooh.
I'm going to turn to the others and say, he wants to meet us at Mulgrave University. He's there with the 12 and also the representatives of the houses, so we need to freshen up a little bit.
They're all in one place?
Yes, they're ready to bestow our marks upon us.
What do you mean freshen up? I look
We
down at myself.
smell.
Do I look okay?
No, we
We
smell.
all look like crap.
I like. Leave it to me, friends. How
Some
do
of
you want to
them
look
I
today?
Clean?
Before he gets any more out, Gunner's gonna just reach out with his hand and just do this, and it's gonna snuff out the flame in his pipe using control flame.
The smoke continues, but it becomes excessive. For some reason, it has suddenly become from a small puff to a large billow, but then ends quite quickly after that. You check it out, and the flame is extinguished.
I look at it and I, oh, this pipe's been a bit strange. Thorum, my friend, I'm gonna hold my pipe out just
Wait.
a little bit further than my hand.
Wait, no, don't do that.
Do it! Do it!
No,
Please,
don't do that.
it.
Don't do that. I have a tinderbox and some torches. Don't do that.
I'm going to lean forwards.
Do it.
Take a deep breath.
You're gonna hurt him.
Do it.
And then click my fingers and use thaumaturgy. Light the end of his pipe up again.
Ah, my good man, thank you. And I put it back in my mouth. I'm like, now, how would we like to present ourselves? I ask you all.
You should make us look how you perceive us.
After he's been smoking.
What are you doing?
I was
What do
like,
you mean?
I can assure you, you all will have your clothes on.
Robes
What
of
are you
Ado.
doing?
Robes of Ado. Something.
Robes of Ado.
something
How would you
formal.
like to look? How would you like to present yourself right now?
What are you
We all
doing?
look a little bit shaggy after our
Is-
many encounters.
Is this a spell?
Could be, yes.
That's very vague.
It is.
It is?
It's a very good one.
What is it?
It might seeming to be good.
Okay.
I just want to look
I'd
clean.
like to know a little bit more about that later if that's okay.
Did you?
I can make myself look however I want though, remember.
Oh yes, you can.
But
So,
if you want to do it, then you can.
What I'll do is I'll just read this out, so at least I know I'm in the right place with this. This spell allows you to change the appearance of any number of creatures that you can see within range. You give each target you choose a new illusionary appearance. An unwilling target can make a charisma saving throw. So yes, if I decide to make you look a certain thing, you can be like, no. The spell distinguishes physical appearance as well as clothing, armor, weapons, and equipment. You can make each creature seem 1 foot shorter or taller and appear thin, fat, or in between. You can change a target's body type, so you must choose a form that has the same basic arrangement of limbs, so you can't gain an extra limb.
Why an extra limb?
I was just waiting for an immature joke, but
Just saying, yeah, who's here?
That'll work.
Who's listening?
That's
yeah,
fine.
you get it. You can have different colors.
But it's an illusion, so we still are actually wearing the same thing. It's just an
I'm
illusion.
not going to permanently change you yet.
Buckley's, if you could just make me look clean, that would be fine.
You know, what about, would you like a different hairdo today?
No.
Maybe a different color. I mean, you had a coffee for the first time. Put a little streak in there if you'd like.
No,
to
I'm
make you actually clean, I'm just going to click and use thaumaturgy again. Done. That should do the trick.
my teeth glitter. They're so white.
Anyone else? Would you like different clothes?
I'm fine with what I'm in.
Oh, great.
A
So we're
sheen-
basically wanting to go as we are.
A sheen wouldn't be too bad over this new armor. It's
A sh-
looking grimy.
Machine? Okay. What's up? Let's give it like... Actually, what color is his armor? What color is your armor?
I believe it's mostly silver and there's red and black on it now from the dragon scale armor I'm wearing.
Well, for you, my friend, it now has an impressive pearl. Almost like a... Oh, this is not relevant to this world. It's a different world. Like a Damascus blade. There we go.
What?
Damascus blade. Look it up.
Barclays, what are you going to look like?
Yes. So I will have my coat will go into like kind of a faint kind of almost watercolor-ish. Blue, purple, and white. Yes.
Alright.
And my hair will be tied back, top knot. Hey, top knot.
Where you going, buddy?
Yeah.
I'm ahead of the time.
That's it. Yep. And just looking really sharp, you know.
Alright.
Yeah. And how would you like to look?
Robes of golden black.
You should make him a green dragon.
No.
Or a blue dragon.
No, don't do that.
Or any other color.
He now has robes of black and gold and looks extra red.
Make him extra pink. That also.
Maybe you should
Extra
give
red.
him a streak.
Would you like a streak?
Give him a wreathing stripe.
You know what? Actually. Did everyone have whiskers? No?
Not all.
But today-
Interestingly enough, gold dragonborn actually do.
Like the Chinese style.
I'm a red dragon. Give me gold whiskers.
Beautiful gold whiskers. My man.
It's flowing large, 3 on each side, and hang down to your pecs. That sort of long.
That's my dragon sex. I'm very happy with this. Let's go. I do it all 12. So
You know
Now,
what
for us to stay this good, we have 8 hours.
You should make him look like that picture we got this sent the other night.
Oh my God.
Just in
How
his
far
underwear.
is Mulgrave
Yeah, true.
University?
Your best guess from where
As
you
someone
are.
who lived in Sean.
Your best guess from where you're from where you are, because you haven't been into this particular area.
It's fine.
Just on a side note,
Savage.
I have actually streaked the back of Amara's hair, but she doesn't know yet.
Well, then you need to make a saving throw, right?
She doesn't
No,
know.
she's willing and she let him do it.
I did, but he could probably deceive that.
Good to know.
What color is it?
It is middle central plateau, so it's you'll need to go up some of these clear glass lifts, and it's in the second level of the city.
Okay.
One ward over. As the discussion and the change of appearance happens, I did make sure I read correctly. Thaumaturgy does end after 1 minute. So
Clean, ugly.
So you're
pretty
filthy
much,
again.
yeah,
But
you are.
you've
Those
done
who
your
are
spell.
clean or who were clean from this spell effect are no longer. You still appear to be
Ah.
clean. However,
Is my pipe still lit?
yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah, for the next few seconds. But then the effect does pass, and it extinguishes again. I mean, it is a cantrip, so it's not used to be a permanent change. So you all do appear all right, but you smell a little bit off. Well, it's a bit of sweat,
Maybe we should
sweat
just
smell.
quickly go and like. how bad-
I think they'll understand. Maybe they'll have somewhere there that we can freshen up.
Can I?
I think Feriso's seen us in far worse condition than this.
But hey, you look great.
I do look great.
He looks great. He looks great.
Okay,
Being
got a
there,
sheen.
so
You
many
look great
herb
now.
shops. Is there anywhere that just has like perfume or cologne or anything that's?
Make an investigation check.
15.
You go from door to door, and you have a look into each shop, which is they are open. Licky at the Lavender Livery is open, and you do have another huge scent that fills you of lavender, fresh and dried. It looks like this is a mix of a clothes store, a nursery with plants and pots and small trees of beautiful fruits dangling from branches, and what looked to be other more upmarket bottles of perfumes, alcohol, some other sorts of liquids that don't appear to be overly used. They have some dust on them, and they appear to be a little bit maybe unsavory.
So we just buy something to clean ourselves with.
Let's just go there. I feel like this is far more important.
Yeah, I mean, besides, you look good.
And to understand we smell.
Let me help you with that. I've got a gift pack. I can make you smell different.
I don't know if that's necessarily better.
I think that's really a problem for Dragonborn. Like, I think Dragonborn sweat has scales, right?
Give me all of 2 moments. I'll grab something.
Okay.
Have you ever smelled a lizard before? They still get dirty.
I haven't actually. I'll head in and quickly grab something.
You see before you this this tall elf who seems to be probably one of the oldest looking elves that you've seen. And elves don't elves age very gracefully. Their skin hardly gets a wrinkle. This particular being in front of you is definitely an elf, but the skin is dark, as in purple, dark purple, and you can see multitudes of scars, wrinkles, these bags under the eyes, tall, lean, angular face as usual, these beautiful gold and silver loops for earrings, this white hair straight and kept very, very well long that goes down the neck. He's sort of with these robes of similar colour, this dark purple, puts his hands together in common, but with this accent. Good day.
Yes, good day. I'm here just to purchase some, I don't know, cologne or perfume.
Of course. What is your budget?
I don't have one.
Very well. I will get you the best. And he takes out what looks to be this triangular clear liquid. This triangular vial with clear liquid in it. He sort of opens it very deftly, very quickly, puts one finger on the lid, pours it out, flips it, and just flicks it across the underside of your chin. And as he does, you feel this beautiful warmth, and then a cool, and this subtle, ever so subtle smell of rose hits you, but it stays, and you do not smell anything else.
Thank you. I shall be gone. No. Wow, that is quite nice. How much for this?
It is 120 gold pieces.
120 gold pieces.
It would last you forever.
I must admit, I've never experienced such a smell before.
It also adds an effect. Make a charisma saving throw, please.
Oh no.
Am I going to charm myself?
You're in love with yourself. You are the most beautiful man in the world.
Charisma?
Yeah.
Great, because I have a -1 to that. But that's an 18.
An 18?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Charismatic boy.
You simply just smell roses. That's
Yeah.
all. You do feel a little bit lightheaded, but that's it. As you look beyond, and he sort of looks at you with these squinted eyes. You seem to be resisting the effect. Well done. But others may not.
And what would this effect normally take place?
One of infatuation.
Infatuation. I have a friend that may like this, actually. I'll tell you what. In another life, I would have passed this, but I'll take it. 120 gold pieces, yes?
It is yours, sir.
All right.
Anything else I can help you with?
that would be all, I think. Do you... Out of interest, I see that you have dusty assortments over there that seem less popular.
Most don't have a liking to some things I concoct. They are not of this land. They are from my home.
So you don't just dabble in colognes and perfumes?
Not for those who seek something a bit more exotic, perhaps deadly. Are you that person, sir?
Perhaps. And what kind of price tag yields such poisons?
You speak my language. Yes, purple worm saliva. One of my best. It is heavily priced because it is not easy to fell, let alone to retrieve such things. The saliva of the purple worm dries up mere minutes after it is felled. Therefore, to keep this, it takes some magics. It will instantly kill whomever is on the receiving end.
And with this oil or potion,
Oil.
What?
would this be applicable to blades and arrows?
It is, sir. You can have perhaps 15 doses for each bottle that I sell.
And how much would the bottle be?
That is where we must bargain, because to get this, even one vial would be at around about the 350 gold piece mark.
One vial for 350 gold pieces.
There are 15 times that you can use this, sir.
And how do I know this would work?
You can test it on yourself if you'd like.
Why are you looking at us? We're not there.
Yeah, you're in there. Go punch yourself.
You're all alone.
Can I insight check him?
Sure.
That's not bad. 16.
16, all right. Quick message to you, sir.
Meanwhile, outside.
Yes, I agree. Let's go.
Should we get a start? We can start, they can catch up.
Who's that?
Me and Thulrom can get a start, you guys can catch up.
Where are you going?
Mulgrave University.
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay. Do you want to come or do you want to wait for Rook?
Well, someone's, I guess, has to wait for Rook.
Why? He knows where we're going.
Does he? Will he forget? He seems to forget some names sometimes.
Oh, shade.
He might go to Mulgrave University instead.
University.
Yes, you know what I mean.
You guys can go.
Is there a little chair out the front?
You're not there. You don't get
Yep,
to
there are chairs scattered around the street.
Oh, that's fine. I'll just sit down on a chair. I'll get my pipe back out and my coffee, and I'm just gonna people watch for a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up behind Thulrom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder, which is quite high, considering I'm quite short. And I'm gonna say, "Fly, dragon, fly."
That's not how dragons work.
That's a little racist.
Yeah.
Just as useless as I thought you were. Let's go.
You wanna fly?
No. It was
Do I hear this?
Gunnar, it was a joke.
They didn't say they were whispering.
Let me quickly stick my head into the shop.
I'm tempted to get
How far away are you?
Hmm.
Amara's keen to be gone.
Just a few more moments.
Okay. He's
See,
not,
we'll be just down the road.
he's not far away.
Yeah.
If you wish to get a hustle on, feel free to. I know where I need to be.
Alright.
Do I know where I need to be?
Mulgrave University.
Okay. That.
Mulgrave University.
Who?
Who are you? Who? Who?
Well, you go on.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
You all, Gunnar, are you staying? Barclays, are you staying or leaving? Okay.
Yes, we'll see you soon.
All
I'm
right.
just gonna still sit there and just
Sure.
chill with my coffee and my smoke.
And what would you like to do with that information, Rook?
I feel like you wouldn't lie to me for. I know where your shop is. If anything were to go astray, and I could return back. But I do feel some hesitation. Do you fear I'm some kind of criminal? Or...
Not at all, sir. Some things I sell are simply not favorable to the city and the patrons within it. I tend to keep my business to only a few who see value in what I do. I simply ask that you keep this to yourself.
This I can do, and if it helps, know that I do not intend to use this here within the city.
Good.
But
Because I do not want anything like this traced back to me.
Of course. But it shall, if you wish to know, serve a higher purpose for good.
You are buying it then?
I'm buying it.
We have a deal, sir.
320 gold.
As
I feel like I can trust you and potentially may have more business for you in the future.
I will be here.
And what was your name?
Dola.
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 Thank you for your time. And
Feels like your day. Gunner's dead.
have a lovely day. And thank you for this.
Use it wisely.
The rose
Mhm.
water. I come out of the shop.
All right. You do see in the distance your fellow 5 or 4, and you quickly catch up to them as you all start to head up towards the Mulgrave University. And so you find your way because it yourself, Amara, I'm assuming leading the way.
Yeah.
Because from this particular disc of a platform which will take you up a particular tower of white and grey marble to a second level where bridges dominate this particular plane of Shan, you do get to become more familiar with your surroundings and have explored at least the middle city
Okay.
in its entirety. And so you now look directly as you all go upward and see the lower levels below you get further and further away, and your legs feel only slightly shaky from this clear platform below, leading to simply hundreds of feet of air. You see the Mulgrave University in the distance, but it is there in the central plateau.
Yeah, okay. As I'm gonna make my way towards it, obviously, but as we're walking, I'd like to look at everyone and say, been meaning to chat to everyone about this. When Gunnar and I were alone with Osei, just before the jousting, we haven't even had a chance to mention this to you yet. We went through all of the parchments that you took, Barclays, by Selu's, I don't know, do you want to call it a lair? Is that what we're calling it? She was evil. She had a lair. That was a lair.
That was a lair.
That was awful. And
With some nice horses.
Didn't you obtain those?
Yes, I did.
anyway, there were a lot of prophecies. Nothing like, well, some of them were a little bit frightening, but there was a few for each of us individually. Something for Osei as well, if I recall correctly. But it might be worth you guys going through them as well.
Wait a second. Didn't we open these prophecies?
We opened one together, and then you
For
guys...
each of us? Because I remember I opened one.
No, there were more, from my understanding. Only the three of us, because you guys went off.
But I remember we opened up one for each of us.
Yes.
Yep.
That was the same piece of parchment, though. I'm talking about multiple pieces of parchment.
But there's even more individual pieces of parchment for each of us?
Yeah. We were reading them all out.
These are not... These
They weren't visions. They
weren't visions.
They weren't visions. They were, I guess, kind of like the start of maybe a prophecy. It was something written on... So yeah, it was more written on parchment than it was a vision like the ones we've seen before. But it did seem, I don't know, it just seemed ominous. I didn't like it. I didn't like some of the things I read. Some of the ones that were for you guys didn't make sense to us, so it might,
Yeah, I think we should read through those later on.
yeah. Maybe while you guys are getting your dragon marks, I know they said that they could take a while, so if it's something you can multitask with, maybe that's what you can do.
Well, yes, I think it's a good idea. I was going to borrow Thulrom's paper, but maybe I'll read my prophecy again while I sit down and enjoy my coffee.
From your understanding, Amara, reading through them, they were all in the hand of Bicelu.
Yeah.
So they did seem to be
Prophecy was the wrong word.
notes taken.
Yeah.
Some of them seem to be more official than others, but
Yeah.
notes
Yeah.
by her hand. Okay. So with that information now received, I apologise. I just got my districts wrong because Shan is a bloody big city. You're heading to the upper city. Apologies, Upper Memphis.
Memphis.
Upper Memphis.
Memphis?
Yep.
See the king.
Tennessee.
That's it. So you are heading to the Mulgrave.
Tennessee.
To the essentially the district that is simply called University. That's where the Mulgrave University is dominated. There are other buildings, enormous buildings in this particular district. There are very few homes, mansions, towers here. There are entertainment complexes, including the Art Temple, the Grand Stage, and the Great Hall of Orion. Several large buildings adjacent to this university, which is easily seen as you go towards it by the enormous dome that sits atop it, and the hundreds of steps as you make your way across a grand bridge made of this sparkling silver and white material that is similar in appearance in its make to the Mulgrave University itself, but a light purple metal gleaming and almost you have to hide your eyes when you're looking at it, almost blinding you with its reflection. The hundreds of stairs going up towards this massive behemoth of a pillared multi-story building is directly in front of you now. The stairs made of a dull stone that looks to be old. Each step seems to have this sort of crease within it, as though over the ages it has worn, where thousands upon thousands of students had come and gone, and still, as you see, this central plaza is dominated by a crowd of people, some in a particular looking uniform that has a purple star on it, a dark purple star with a black sash that indicates the Mulgrave University emblem. And hundreds of these particular students are going out and in the many doors that make up the bottom level of this place. Looking at it and looking around, you see similar looking large buildings, but not as dominating around you. In probably one to your left, one to your right, and three behind. And you are now looking up at this staircase, and at the top 10 pillars just are imposing down upon you of this white and grey stone. And you see just in the distance, on the very top of these stairs, a small person waving towards you. And you see that this person disappears and suddenly reappears a little bit down the stairs, disappears and then reappears again. disappears and it gets closer and closer, blinking from place to place, but knowing exactly where he is.
I can blink without shadows.
And he appears probably about 25 to 30 steps above you. And each level of stairs is probably about 1 meter to 1.5 meters tall. So these steps are quite steep, and there, in a dark blue familiar robe,
Mum?
with a black staff of simple wood, tall and regal, with these golden, with the large golden collar surrounding him, a lot more official looking than you've ever seen him. This slick black hair. Feriso Doldoletta. Greetings.
I'm going to, very relieved and undignified, hug Feriso, and I'm going to realize how inappropriate that is, and just...
As you start to back off, you feel one reassuring arm around you just for a moment, and a quick pat. As even gentler, like a there. It is calming.
Do it again.
It is calming, and you the embrace finishes as quickly as it started, but then he does seem to have a slight sympathetic smile on his face, and he looks down at you and says, "I'm glad to see everyone is well. Shall we continue?
Yeah, let's go inside. We have a lot to talk about.
Follow me. Everyone is waiting." And he turns, and as you are all walking up towards the Mulgrave University proper, with Doletta in front, and a hustle and bustle of sounds, of talking, we will take our 10-minute break.
Hey!
And just before we
Hey!
do,
Hey!
what do we got?
Hey!
Oh.
Hey!
Something
If
exciting
you
happens.
didn't tune in at the start of this episode, you will not know that we are giving away a 12-piece dice set, courtesy of Kraken Dice, Shifting Sands, legendary set. Ben here is holding the Titan. That is an extra bonus dice that we are giving away with this set because it's in the same color. And we're going to give away this set right here that I'm holding in my hand.
Yeah, cute.
Whoa.
Which, like, by the way, a lot of dice sets don't come with this, but Kraken always sends you a D2.
Yeah.
So it's like a heads and tails style
cool.
thing. A 1 and a Kraken.
Nice.
Yeah, so where you have to like and retweet. A like is one entry, a retweet is one entry, and we're gonna drop a code word which is
Malestra, and
Hey,
you'll get
the gal.
you'll get that word
Go.
in its spelling, if that's okay.
yeah. So comment
on Twitter,
Malestra
Malestra.
underneath the tweet that is pinned on the Fates Grip profile, and that will count as a bonus entry. So 3 entries in total to be drawn soon.
All right, we'll have
TikTok.
that's right. So enter, and we will see you in 10 minutes. It is 8. What time is it? 8:39. Let's come back at 8:50, and we'll see you then, guys. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
welcome back, and buonasera. As we see, we have in the wild, we have a wild Amara, and she is nocturnal in nature, only coming out when the hunt is on for ice cream.
Can you grab a tissue?
We also need cleaning utensils.
Anything else?
We're on stream, so just a tissue is fine, thanks.
Hopefully, everyone had a good little break. So we are just about to head into the Mulgrave University. Interesting. What's going to happen there? I got my own drink now. I've been given this
How drunk are we going to be after
generously.
this university?
How
You know,
what?
How drunk are we going
How
to be after
drunk?
this university?
I don't know. It depends on.
Life savings?
Yeah,
Hex step for life?
maybe. Maybe them are the costs.
I'll join a guild.
Actually,
really?
I will just lean down and shout out that I'm really sorry. I think is it Voikuban? My pronunciation is not great. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Commented on the Twitter post with the correct spelling for Molestra. So if you want to know how to spell it, it's there.
Thank you.
Just trying to push my chair.
You spelled it correctly.
Do you want this fan?
Can I have the
Personally, I'm okay.
Can I have the tissue, please? There's chocolate on the floor.
We're making a mess here.
What kind of chocolate?
You can eat it and find out.
There's
Okay.
brown stuff on the floor.
I just noticed that our new microphone was basically blocking off anything that you'd see of Thulrom and Gunner, so it's now a bit lower.
That's what I mean. There's brown stuff on the floor.
Part of the tile. I'll be back.
Sounds
Please
good.
Continue without me. Don't though.
Don't?
Please continue without me, but
Nice.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Nothing.
He said N. I think he said N.
Oh, I thought you said Oh, sorry.
How's everyone over the course of the first half? Okay? Feeling
Yeah,
alright?
good.
Yeah?
Yeah, feeling very good.
Excellent. Thank you for sticking in. Thank you for not falling asleep. I know, and for everyone at home. I know the RPing can sometimes be a little bit. How's your mum? But
How is your mum?
How is she?
yeah, she's good. Thank you.
I've been wondering. No.
We went over for everybody who's watching. We went over and my son played with my niece, and that was very, very lovely. Some very lovely videos. It takes a little bit for him to warm up to crowds. He's nearly 2, so but then he gets right into it. Whenever he's into circuits now. He sees like a way that you can go around an open kitchen, for example, and he'll just run around and around and around and around.
No, she's on the. Actually, she may be on
I'm
the side
in
soon.
another room. No, I'm in another. Oh, everyone's here.
Have you spoken about
Something I was gonna say, and it's
DMing?
what?
When you think of it, you're more than welcome to interrupt
What
to
were you
find
saying?
out.
About DMing? In October?
So,
All right, yeah, DMing in October.
It is
It's
October.
happening. Hey, it's happening.
It's happening, guys. Let's just forget about everything.
somewhere,
Hey,
somehow,
31st.
someone will DM in October.
Yeah.
31st of October.
31st.
One shot with woo with Cosmic Ties podcast.
Yes.
Lemons, Snazzy, and David are the names of the guys joining us. I will be DMing with the very, very basic name Emily. And then Ben.
I am also basic.
Very, very basic name, Emily.
And then P Money over here, Preston, is going to be stepping into that as well. So it's going to be a good time. And Little Miss NZ, thank you so much for subscribing.
Hey,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Nice
you
to
so
have
much.
you for 2 whole months now. You're so
rock.
great. I love her.
Thank you so much.
Also, Halloween.
Halloween.
Halloween's coming.
Mhm.
What are we all dressing up as? I'm gonna hold everyone accountable on the stream.
Oh yeah.
What's everyone
Chips.
dressing up as?
I'm gonna come as Chips.
Oh, so you're coming now?
To Chips. Is
there chips there?
There will be chips and bread.
There will be
Here's
chips.
something that I'll put on
There will be
Twitter.
chips.
What is everyone going to be dressed as for Halloween?
Yeah.
What are you dressing up as, Michele?
I already look like a clown, so that's me.
Come on, you handsome
What?
devil.
What are you going to be
Handsome
wearing
Italian
to my
clown.
Yeah.
Halloween party? What
I
are
don't
you
know
wearing?
yet. I'm not sure. I'll probably just scrounge something up last minute. I'll probably put some toilet paper over my head and call myself Toilet.
Okay. Fuck.
That's
it.
It's hard to beat.
It's a good costume.
Yeah.
Ben, what are you dressing up as?
I'm going to attempt to dress up as Negan from The Walking Dead.
What are you dressing up as, Chris?
I'm gonna try and dress up as the girl character from The Last of Us.
You're a liar.
Girl character.
Abby?
Which one?
You're a liar.
The main protagonist.
Don't lie.
No, why?
You know why.
Why?
What are you dressing up as?
I'm gonna dress up as Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead.
Nice.
Preston,
Yeah.
what are you dressing up as?
I haven't thought of this.
I have no idea. I have no idea whatsoever.
Couch Goblin, what are you going as?
Joel from The Last of Us.
Ooh, Joel.
After he met Abby.
Yeah. After he met Abby.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna dress up as Ellie from The Last of Us,
Very
two.
zombie themed.
which is gonna be
That's
fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we did have a comment though, just saying that cosplay stream. Someone said so maybe close to Halloween we could wear these costumes on stream.
I'm going to be a sweaty
Maybe,
mess.
I'm not upset about that.
Like-
I'm not upset about that.
Your
Well, put
costume
that
is very
aircon on.
accessible, Michele.
Put the aircon on.
I
It'll be
lied.
fine.
I
You just
lied.
wear no pants. No one can see
Oh,
anyway.
yeah, I'll
That's
just
true.
be Negan's top half.
Yeah, okay.
And Rook's disappointing.
How
bottom
about
half.
this? If we hit 700 followers before Halloween, which is 70 followers, less than 70 followers away, we will do a dress up stream.
Let's tweet it. Let's do it.
Okay?
I'm in.
I'm writing the contract right now. On
I-
Twitter.
Obviously,
Oh, God.
it'll be from shoulders up that you'll see that the majority is, but well, let's get back into it.
Sheldon's looking up dragon heads already.
Yes.
Go down.
Oh, are we doing it as our characters or just as? Let's just do dress ups. Dress ups is fine.
Let's galvanize.
Let's
this a bit
think
later.
on it. Let's
Yeah.
head back. Let's head back in, guys, to the second half of this stream. So, bringing it back in, you walk up, and you lose count with the number of stairs that you climb. Feriso not missing a beat, not slowing, not quickening his pace, and even step-by-step travel up the extremely level stairs, well built, not one taller than the other, but landings after about a meter to a meter and a half high after about the 30 to 40 steps as you rise further and further into the air. And as you get to the very top, you look up and you see that you are dwarfed by simply stunning rock of these pillars that must be meters in diameter. And looking beyond that, this enormous stone roof above you that opens up into the internals, into the bowels of this school and museum and art, just a mix of history and artifacts and learning and books galore as you make your way and you see these large rectangular windows that look inward, and you can see from where you are that the first room that you'll enter, as the huge double doors, massive, probably about 30 meters high, rise above you and are slightly ajar. You're not really understanding how someone could open and close them on a night. You walk in and you see this antechamber with a very long, large marble desk where a number of gnomish and human and elven and dwarven receptionists, if you will, are writing on quill and paper and are directing students and other members of the Mulgrave University and other teachers and other just sightseers and tourists in different directions. And beyond them you can see that there are a multitude of closed and open doors, a little bit smaller this time, that lead into separate hallways and separate rooms. And looking just beyond, you can see a couple of meters behind this large desk, the doors that lead to some rooms that have just shelves upon shelves of books. Another one, contrastly, has a very twisted, winding and thin hallway that leads downward into another part of the university. And Feriso simply walks beyond this marble desk, and you look down and you see a beautiful tiled floor, and with these streaks of gold and white, and you're led to the left as he wordlessly travels further, and through a large but not as big double door than the very front, leads you into another room. And this room is almost looking like a library. And a library has this red carpet. It's quite a bit warmer in this room than the outside. You felt a bit of a chill, as there were no ways to insulate the reception area. And this room is still large, but you can't quite tell how large, because the shelves that make up this musty smelling room go all the way to the ceiling, and it is a maze of pathways here and there to the right and the left of books and shelves. And you see that you're looking directly down the main thoroughfare of this portion of the library, and it goes down probably about 10 meters or so about 25 to 30 feet. And you look to the right and the left, and you see that there are pathways either side with these bookshelves in more of a diagonal, and between bookshelves there's a little path that you're allowed to walk through to look for particular librams. And at the very, very far end of this room, it seems like there is a group of people in a space at the very far end, just simply waiting, speaking to each other. Otherwise, the smell is that of old paper, leather, this just still air, and not even flickering, just these sconces with flames lighting up the room. Probably one every 2 shelves, which make it quite a dim light. And Feriso stops at the entrance, and he turns to you and he says, "So, we are all here, the 12 House representatives that will enact the ritual to empower you with the dragon marks of the houses of your choosing are here. Is there anything that you need to know from me before we meet them?"
Feriso, I want to ask you before we go inside. We ran into someone by the name of Obradin. Does this name mean anything to you?
sort of looks, he's looking above you at what look to be books, pensive. We have had dealings, yes.
Can I ask what type of dealings?
I first met Obradin some time ago, years, after discovering that he has, let us just say the Arcanics were aware of his goals, and they were not altogether legal. We had been tasked to put a stop to his affairs, and we were unsuccessful. Since then, it appears, or it seems as though he is watchful of us. Some sort of effect has taken place where it almost feels like something is watching us. And we fear not him, but what he can do. How do you know this name?
I'm gonna subtly, I'm not gonna do a whole body head turn, but I'm gonna do like an eye glance towards Gunnar, and I'm gonna say, when we were at the arena, Obradin appeared before us and asked that we accompany him back to his home. In Feriso's head, I'm gonna say he has ties in with Gunnar.
Having heard only the first part of that sentence and not the Gunnar part, I hold up the second page. But I understand that you may not have understood that it was us that was involved because the paper just described us as heroes. It didn't name us by name, just used the word heroes instead.
I'm gonna deep breath and go, when we were at Obradin's home, he put us through some trials, some troubling situations, to say the least. If you want more information, I'll give that to you. This is all out loud now. But it got to a point where we encountered something very strong and very frightening, and we almost lost Thulrom and Rook. And when I asked for help, Obradin was the one that kind of came running. But only when I offered him gold. And for a moment, Rook died. At least that's what we were told. You can see that he's right here, obviously.
So I see.
But he tried to strike a bargain with me. He said he would be far more helpful if I brought you to him, which I very quickly declined, just for the record. But he also appeared as you. He used your face.
It said quite clearly that it does not fear you, or any of the other 12.
It is more than that he knows where we are. A feeling. Something that we as the 12 have been researching, attempting to shake off. We are not threatened by him. We do not perceive this effect that he has on us a threat, but a watchful eye. It is as though he sees where we are at all times. A location spell of some kind. We've attempted to dispel it unsuccessfully. We've been trying to ascertain whether this means more than simply knowing our whereabouts. Rook, Thulrom, the 12, we are glad that you are safe. We were aware immediately of the happenings in the Hollow Tower and assumed that you were the heroes mentioned. Of course.
Thank you for not telling the press our names. We would have hated to have all that recognition and glory.
It is not I who told the papers anything.
The couch goblin just lost it in the corner.
I understand fame is an important factor in some cases. However,
To some, perhaps.
To some.
yes. Be known that I had no say in what the papers release. I simply made sure that the crowds and the peoples were safe once they made their way back to their homes, and that the city was safe and not at all threatened by these creatures that appeared.
Thank you.
Do you know anything of the corridors?
The byways, you mean, Rook?
Or the byways? He seems to have used those extensively and has great interest in the Mournlands.
Before I answer, I'm not surprised that Obradin uses faces. I have been aware of this. He can seem like others. Again, there is a feeling more than this. I feel like he is able to do more with simply become others. So far, he has not affected us. So that is something to be said. I'm glad you told me that he used my face. I feel as though we must investigate if he's used my appearance to strike deals for otherwise evil purposes, perhaps. Now, I don't know what you should do, but we will keep vigilant and make sure that if he makes an appearance, we will be there as much as we can to help.
I'm worried that if he uses your face, he now knows that we're comfortable with you. How are we... Is there a way that we can always distinguish it's you versus him?
Yes, we should come up with a code word of some kind.
That's a good idea. Is simply a word enough?
Maybe a handshake? No, I'm joking.
How's that handshake?
Special dance move.
I'm aware, however, perhaps, do you not have items on your person that may perceive things as they truly are?
I don't.
Is there something on your persons that you hold dear? That I can scry for to understand if...
Oh, you mean this ring?
I did feel magic there.
In my hand, yes.
You can use this.
So whenever we're in doubt, this ring will be reliable.
As far as I'm aware, yes. It will see me for what I am and what the Arcanix 12 are.
Excellent.
Speaking of, Count Bavi has been quickly replaced. A trusted advisor to House Vidalis. You will meet her now. But just be aware that we have found Count Yebnit Hulria, a female human. a subordinate of Count Bavi, but risen in the ranks. An advisor, but now one of the 12. She will be there because she needs to use her magics and us ours when we are helping with the dragon marks. Have you decided, by the by, which mark you are thinking of having on your person?
I'm gonna go back through and quickly look.
If not, it is fine. We can explain again what these are, but I will make you aware. Now, the representatives do need to travel back to their homeland. The opportunity is now a little less, a little more timely.
Perhaps we could all do with a reminder of what those dragon marks were.
Ooh, of course.
Oh, did you not remember?
If you remember, perhaps you could just recant them.
Oh,
There's like 10.
I have them stored right in here. I just, you've been so forgetful lately.
Please, enlighten me.
Please, Thulrom, enlighten me.
No, I don't remember. But you do.
Yes.
Good.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Shall I go through them quickly?
Yes, please.
Cool.
Feriso will explain them far better than I ever could.
I'll use my voice anyway. So that's okay. So we've
Give
got.
us the Twitter version.
I can't do that. It's a lot involved. But I'll give you the name of the house, what they stand for, and some of the benefits you'll get when you get the mark. House Madani is the house of or the mark of detection. You will receive benefits like, and this will happen over time. So when I call out these spells, you may not get all of them right away, but perhaps over time, depending on certain agenda, which you'll know more about later. So the mark of detection will give you things like detect evil and good, detect poisons, arcane eye, divination, clairvoyance, non-detection, detect thoughts, find traps. The mark of finding, which is House Tharashk, which is spells such as Fairy Fire, Long Strider, locate animals and plants, clairvoyance, speak with plants, divination, locate creature and commune with nature.
Hot.
The mark of handling, which is House Vidalis, is things like animal friendship, speak with animals, beast sense, calm emotions, beacon of hope, awaken, aura of life, and dominate beast. The mark of healing, which is House Jurasco, is cure wounds, healing word, greater restoration, aura of vitality, mass healing word, those sorts of things. The mark of hospitality, House Galander, goodberry, sleep, aid, calm emotions, create food and water, hallow, aura of purity, and Mordenkainen's private sanctum. House Kenneth, which is the mark of making, creation, fabricate, identify, conjure barrage, elemental weapon, stone shape. The mark of passage, House Orion, jump, misty step, blink, dimension, door, freedom of movement, teleportation circle. Now be aware, these are in addition to any spells that you would already know. The mark of scribing, House Civis, dream, arcane eye, confusion, sending, tongues, animal messenger, silence, comprehend languages and illusionary script. The mark of the sentinel, House Denaith, compelled jewel, shield of faith, counterspell, Bigby's hand, death ward, guardian of faith, warding bond, zone of truth. The mark of shadow, the houses of shadow, which are House Falan and House Thurani. Disguise self, silent image, darkness, pass without a trace, mislead, greater invisibility, major image, and others. The mark of storm, House Lyranda. Featherfall, fog cloud, gust of wind, conjure elemental, conjure minor elemental, control weather, sleet storm, and others. The mark of warding, House Kandarak. Alarm, arcane lock, Liamon's secret chest, anti-life shell, Mordenkainen's faithful hound and magic circle. So hopefully you got a little bit more, because there are so many, I just sort of rushed through them. But hopefully there was one or two of those spells that sort of took your fancy a little bit. And if you want to know more about the specific house, that is to come. And so Feriso is of House Lyranda. Just bear that in mind. You recall that Malestra is of House Kenneth, the Mark of Making, and Count Bavi, or was, of House Vidalis, of Handling. And you have not yet met the others. So,
What was Feriso again?
House Lyranda.
Which one's that?
House Lyranda is House Lyranda. Oh, where is it? Sorry, Storms.
Storm.
So, the representatives or the 12, whoever would like to explain, can explain more about each house as you enter before you take your pick. But be warned, once it is put on you, it will be forever. You may not have more than one mark on you at a time. You are heroes. Thulrum. Before we continue, however, you choose the house, you choose the dragon mark. You are then representatives of these houses. You will gain power, as only few have. You have done much for Corvair already. You have felled the Venerables. Even now, their numbers dwindle daily. And yes, there are consequences. Clan Boromar and Dask, other thieves' guilds, have overtaken their territories, but you have felled a mighty thieves' guild yourselves, and you lopped it off at the head. Even that is cause for celebration everywhere, and you should be rewarded for such. But responsibility awaits as well. You will each receive responsibilities. They may not be overly important for now, but just be aware that at some point you might get tasks here and there to act upon the house. Is that acceptable?
Seems like a fair deal for potentially impressive power.
The dragon marks will evolve. You will receive a lesser dragon mark. Perhaps as you grow in power yourselves and experience, the dragon marks will evolve with you. They will mutate. The actual mark itself is in a form of a tattoo, which does sometimes have effects. Sometimes adverse, sometimes beneficial. Be aware that they can affect people in different ways. They shouldn't be too overwhelming, however, and it should not impede on your day-to-day. Do you accept?
I accept.
Yeah.
Very well. Let us continue. And he turns, and just before he continues down the long path, he turns once more, and in all your minds you hear silently but telepathically, should we need to talk after this, I will remain behind.
I just kind of do exactly what I just
Yep. Okay. And he walks down. You get to this small circular portion of the room where there are stools and long seats that would sit 5 or 10 people at a time next to each other, made of a fine wood that's varnished. with what appears to be turquoise and purple stone of thank you, amethyst of the symbol of the Mulgrave University. But bookshelves all around you in a circular shape. And sitting on these long seats are the same representatives that you saw outside the Hollow Tower, who some of them, all of them, simply look up with blank stares. Almost all of them sort of giving you nods, but standing in front of you in a semicircle are 11, and now Feriso joins them, 12. Almost ordinary looking people, apart from Feriso, who has this large golden collar. They all seem to be wearing fairly nondescript clothing, dresses, tunics, neat, not dirty, but certainly not regal either. Barclays, you immediately look and you see the
I see Ben looking at me going. I see Rook going.
a familiar face in front of you and a wink as Malestra stands beside two others and gives you a slight nod and a slight smirk.
Am I standing next to Barclays?
Yes.
Barclays. How much of that have you had to smoke?
I know. I was thinking my eyes deceive me, but I'm pretty sure they don't.
My friend. And I pull out my little perfume bottle and just
Throw it at him.
just a little trickle.
It's the wrong one. It's the dead one.
I'm melting.
Can you make me a charisma saving throw, please, Barclays?
You fall in love with me.
That would be a 16.
16, okay. You smell rose from this very small droplet of perfume that flicked over and hit you in the face with a warmth and then a coolness that seemed to have no other effect. As you look over to Malestra, she simply just looks from you to the other members of your party, but gazes over you for a little bit longer, you notice.
I straighten my collar.
Shoulder into him.
Feriso speaks in this, breaking the silence. He says, "Welcome, Rook of Sire, Amara of Shan, Barclays, Throneport, Gunner, and Thulrum. You are here with the 12 of Arcanix, with the House Representatives of the Dragon Mark. You are here to receive the gift of the Dragon Marks upon you. Step forward individually and state which Dragon Mark you would like to receive. This can all be done all at once, but can take some time. Once you are done, once we begin, however, you will be accompanied by the representative and the Archmage from each of the houses to a separate portion of the room where you will simply be given the reward that is owing to you. And we hope that this mark will give you a status. Will give you a status of knowing that the Arcanix thank you, respect you. hold you high in our eyes, hold you as equals.
DM question. What was the name of the Abby's replacement?
Bavi's replacement of House Vidalis was Yebnet Hulria, and you see each of them seem to have a sash around them that represents each of the houses as well. The sash has a mark. Now, the mark of, just quickly finding it here, handling. Yeah. The mark of handling looks to be a spear held by a griffin with these wings behind of gold.
That's pretty cool. So Thulroms going to step forward and say, Tibbet of House Vitalis. Are you that right? Tibbet?
Yebnit.
Yeah. Yebnet.
Fucking hell.
That was pretty close.
Was
Yeah.
it?
Yebnet of House Vidalis. I would have your mark. And perhaps I can wash away some of the stain of Lycelia's dishonor.
This female steps forward, human. She probably comes up to your shoulder in height. So she's still fairly tall. She's thin with a simple red dress, but the red dress does appear to shimmer slightly. And she has the matching red lipstick on, with this red hair that matches the rest, that sort of goes upward.
That's good, we're colour thing.
And just this sash across her person. Would you like to know any more about House Vidalis before we continue?
Give me the overview.
Yeah? So it's essentially the mark of handling gives you a primal connection to beasts and the natural world, granting the power to calm and coax. This extends beyond purely natural animals in some cases. The mark allows its bearer to guide a hippogriff as easily as a horse, otherwise, whereas normally you wouldn't be able to. So, is that? Do you want me to give you any more?
No, I
Okay.
haven't.
Yeah, cool.
That's it. That's absolutely it. Can you tell me anything more of
The spells?
House
House
Vidalis?
Vidalis itself, sure. So House Vidalis, the leader of it, his name is Dalin de Vidalis. It's in Eldin Reaches. Their role as a house is to provide daily life offerings of meats, mounts, and other services. They breed and train beasts, natural and wild, for a wide range of purposes, including the Hollow Tower beasts. They have ranches full of horses and hounds. They do have ranches with other griffins, hippogriffs, even a creature known as bullets. It's dangerous work to actually rear these creatures, but they are then given to very high nobles and royalty for mounts. There are things called dragon shards, and they are used to create magical creatures in the very highest magics of that this house can offer. They can even make a magical creature stronger, faster, and smarter than the average of its kind. Yeah.
I choose. That is the house that I choose.
Okay. So, with a nod of her head and the representative in tow, you are led away from everyone else. So, I will let you all choose one, and then I will enact what effect this has, because this will affect each of you. The actual tattoo embodiment will be the same, but then I'll do something a bit different after that. So, who else would like to go next?
I'm gonna actually hang back and just kind of take a seat.
Mm-hmm.
Just watch my companions.
Okay. Thulrom is led away and out of sight behind a shelf, just sort of down another path of this red carpet, and then out of sight.
Gunnar,
Yes.
do you have any interest in getting a dragon mark?
Yeah. I'm not sure though. Which one's the best one for me?
Might I suggest House Oren?
Orion.
Orion, yes.
Gets own house wrong.
Forgive my Breland accent.
I always thought it was pronounced Breland.
Same thing.
Oh, okay.
That's racist, Gunnar.
Oh. Why do you say that? Why House Orion?
Why not?
That's what I'm trying to decide. Well, do you think that they're more helpful, or
They've done a lot of good things towards the reconstruction of New Sire, or Sire, with the lightning rail. Or as what you would know as the Mournlands.
do we get any other benefits other than spells, or is
Again, in time, as you become more powerful, other benefits might be incurred. Yes.
It would be cool if we could all Misty step to a location, like all of us.
In
People are
fact,
ninjas, man.
I've got Misty Step. I can teleport too.
yeah. Okay. So just be aware that on top of the one or two spells, depending on the house that you receive immediately, there will actually also be an ability score increase. But I'll let you know what that is depending on the house that you are.
Can you have
Okay.
more than one dragon mark?
No.
Like one on each arm.
No.
That was such a quick no.
Such a quick no, yes.
well, I was actually thinking maybe getting House Cannith, House of Making.
Would you like to know more about it?
I think I
Yeah. Cool.
I'm just not sure. I remember some things back when we were looking at the school that I went to, it's Obradin. Although it doesn't seem right, there was something not right about it. I remember the name. It was the making. Something about the making of something. Making bright minds or something like that.
DM question. Am I to understand that House Carnath and House Oren work well together?
Yeah, the only rivalry they're just rivals. The only
Yeah.
rivalry you know about is House Lyranda and House
Lyranda.
Orion.
Orion.
House Lyranda because they have the airships
Yeah.
and the mode of travel that House Orion do want to be the monopoly on.
Do I know this? House Carnath also.
House Kenneth is a mark of making.
Yeah, and they were also predominant in Mournlands as well, weren't they?
They are actually one of the more predominant in Corvair in general.
Yeah.
In terms of they have headquarters in many places. The mark of making specifically entails mending things quickly, magical things. So the need to have manufacturing of the mundane and the mystical is prominent everywhere.
Yeah. House Carnath is a noble house to join. They help a lot of people all over Corvair. Matter of fact, one of my friends is a member of the house.
Is that the Fort?
No, Purback.
I don't know that person. Okay, I think I'm gonna take that one.
All right, you are actually the Archmage Malestra looks at you and gives you a bit of a nod. The house representative follows and leads you, and as she leaves with you, she takes a quick look back at Barclays and then back to you.
So Malestra is the.
Malestra is House Kenneth, the mark of making.
Oh,
She
yeah.
leads you.
My mama
She leads
now.
you. Now, just be aware if some of you want to take the same house, that's fine. You just have to wait, and I can play that out. But if you particularly want House Kenneth as well, no problem. If you particularly like that sort of effect. then
Yeah, I
you
mean
can bring.
that's the thing. Like I serve one house, right? But I don't have that house dragon mark, right? So I could get it, which is interesting.
Mm.
Or you could betray your house.
But that,
Do that. Betray your house.
yeah, but I mean thematically, that's what it would happen. Essentially, I would be leaving one house to another, right?
Not necessarily, no. You're given a gift by a house of your choosing.
Mm-hmm.
Your duties and your rank in House Galanda will not change. It will not be seen as, and you know the rules of the houses, it won't be seen as an act of betrayal or mistrust.
Well, just showing up with a dragon mark within my own house could be a bit hectic. In most situations, from my understanding, you're born with that dragon mark.
And it's dormant
Yeah.
until such time as they choose to instill extra benefits.
Mm.
There is a dragon mark on you,
Mm.
but it won't be. Just be aware that in terms of an activation for its magical abilities, you still have a choice.
Okay. Well, Rook, you know what you want to do. Why don't
No.
you go next?
I don't need to choose.
What?
I'm already a part of a house.
But I'm saying you
But have you got a dragon mark?
don't necessarily need to stick with them
I
if
think
you
that was
want.
him in character.
Pardon?
I think that was him in character.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Sure.
Do you have a dragon mark?
Yes.
And an impressive right arm? Yes.
My dragon mark's on one arm and my blessing is on another.
Alright. Amara, what are you doing?
I don't know if I want one.
Can I have Amara's?
I would say that very quietly, by
Sure.
the way.
Okay. You don't get a response. You get some looks, but the gist of what Feriso was saying seems to ring true. That it's just the one dragon mark activated.
Well, I'm loyal to my house. Galanda.
All right. You see Galanda. You see another female come forward, a halfling. I am Jess Deloria. And she hands you a note. And quietly she says to you, read this afterward. Shall we? She seems to have probably the most jewelry out of anyone there. She seems to have these beautifully long, teardrop looking light blue earrings. This necklace matching that droops right down her stomach, and she seems to have just bracelets all along her arms with this yellow gown on, simple gown, but the sash of House Calendar on it. This ponytail that's a bit long, it sort of droops down a little bit, of light brown hair, and you are led away. Rook, are you House Orion? Okay. Yet another female steps before you. I am simply Trissy. And shall we?
Well met, Trissy. We shall continue.
And you, Rook. And the representative moves away with you to another part of the room. All that is left is Amara. Feriso says, "Is everything all right, Amara?"
I just don't really feel like I fit a house. I feel like none of what I am can really be summarized by the houses, and I don't know, I've been kind of taught to be loyal to my people and to my monastery and to my beliefs, and as much as I appreciate this gift, it doesn't feel right.
All of your gifts, magical and non, have come from Ilyanar.
That might be right, but like aligning myself with a house feels like a big step. Not one that, as much as I would love to have additional benefits to what I can do and the things I can, I don't know, do. It just, I don't know, doesn't feel comfortable.
I'm sure your loyalties to Ilyanar will not weaken. It will not be seen as stepping away from her light. But that is simply my understanding.
I'm more worried about being asked to do something as a favor in return that maybe I don't agree with, or maybe Ilyanar would not agree with, or Sonari would not agree with, and that puts me in a very awkward predicament.
So it is the responsibilities of the house, not necessarily the powers that you would receive that would be a concern.
Yeah.
And then
Someone just commented that I can always keep renting. I don't need to commit to a house.
So true. He sort of takes you aside a little bit and whispers, Amara, the houses understand religion and hold them in respect. They are a type of magic that simply provides service to Corvair. They are not another religion. They're not another faction. They're not another faction that people worship. They are not one type of being. They are simply an organization with magical effects. Should you join a guild, a fighters guild, the wizard guild here in Shan, a thieves guild, your tasks for them, of course, think of it like the aerial jousting. You were simply put up in a competition. You didn't have to do so, but the Hollow Tower and its peoples are an organization, and you chose to go ahead and do it. So that sort of task, they will not ask you for life or death choices. You may simply find yourself protecting a caravan, or perhaps giving a legal document from one place in Corvair to another as a messenger. The tasks are not great; they will simply be small. If they do ever provide anything that you feel uncomfortable with, then you have a right, as now a fully fledged member of that house, to voice your concerns. And they will respect this. They may simply task it to another. It will not mean that they take away your abilities. They cannot.
I understand. I think it's difficult because all I've ever known is my monastery.
It is tough to think of something else as being able to provide you with power and perhaps comfort.
I don't have another home. That's my home.
And
Well, at least until I met these lunatics.
and it will remain your home for as long as you wish it to be. You don't suddenly live at their headquarters, Amara.
Yeah. I don't know. It just feels.
Your heart doesn't want to be put in two places.
Yeah. It feels like I'm. And it might not be true, but it feels like I'm leaving something behind.
Perhaps a suggestion. How long has it been since you visited Eliana?
It's been a while.
Perhaps it's simply a reconnection you need.
Yeah,
That's all. Perhaps just a
I agree.
familiar surroundings. Perhaps
Yeah.
if you see her again, or at least see the temple again, you can feel more comfortable.
That's potentially worse. Last time I went there, it wasn't what it used to be, and if I'm completely honest, it's getting worse every day.
So I hear.
And I have all of these little glimpses into what I can do to help, and I'm just trying to thread them all together, and it's hard.
If you need some time, you shall receive it. Perhaps talking to her may help guide you. We'll be waiting. And then he leaves you. He walks back to the rest of the 12, and they just mutter and talk under their breaths, whispers. Not trying to make any noise. There's nothing that would say that they're talking about you.
Yeah.
They're not looking at you or anything. They're
I
just,
wouldn't be looking for that either.
they're just going about their own conversation now. The rest of you,
I'm just gonna meditate.
sure. The rest of you are taken to an individual room, another beyond the door, that leads to what looks to be simply a tiled, square abode. But there seems to be on the ground, on the wooden ground, each of you see the mark of your house that you have chosen to instill the dragon mark in chalk in the very center, with these other sorts of runes that are on the outside, and you are all asked to go to the center. Anyone resisting?
Question?
Yep.
What was the name of the...
Of your
Yeah, who?
Trissy.
Trissy. Okay, that's one. That's all.
She's room 12, right?
She is.
See.
As you are all led to this,
Baby, Trucy baby.
as you're all led to the center of this ritualistic looking runed chalk circle, your respective archmages meet you within, and the representatives take out a piece of parchment, and it's blank and white, and they pick up, or they take out what looked to be a black piece of coal, and it has a point at the end, and as they start molding and drawing something that you can't see, they're sitting on a seat and looking at you. The Archmage, respectively, puts their hands, Rook, on you. It's on your right shoulder. Barclays, on yourself. It's on your calf on your left.
Cute.
Gunner, for yourself, it's on the back of your neck
I will,
that a hand goes.
I will actually revert to my feathered form for this.
Okay. Thulrom, for yourself, it's just on the smalls of your back. Just there.
Transcend.
And you feel suddenly this wince of pain for a moment as the commencement of drawing simultaneously is happens at the same time as this mage these mages mutter under their breath, and you feel fiery heat in those places as you instinctively all look over and you see this purple blue ink being drawn at the same pace, at the same in the same directions as the House representative is drawing. And you look down at and you look around at what they're doing. You can seem to be able to move still, and the fiery heat intensifies. And then you see this ink become wider and wider, your very skin being replaced by this drawing of what looks to be initially scribble. As though running writing, it becomes faster and faster as these whips with a finger just curl around in a sort of wavy but then striking direction. Each of you having your individual mark etched in white, greens, aquas and yellows. The colors change and shimmer. And as you look down, where the ink has left, or where the finger has left off, what remains is this moving, living mark that flows like a river, back and forth, slowly, in your skin. After what seems to be minutes, the fiery pain, and you are all finding it uncomfortable but not painful, ceases. And as you look at your particular marks and their finished form, I'm going to roll some dice. So, Rook.
Nothing happens and you die.
The first bit's right. Nothing happens. Barclays.
Glad it came.
Can you do me a favour? Just write number 7 somewhere and next to Dragon Mark, please. Barclays. Again, nothing happens, but please write number 8, if that's okay.
Steam Train number 7.
Gunner, write number 6, please, next to Dragon Mark. And Thulrom, number 7, please. The mages say to you that in order to use the powers that you have been given, you must put your hand on the mark itself and call upon it, and then cast the respective powers from within that mark, and the power will then draw from it, not your innate abilities.
So every time we want to use it, we have to do that.
Yes. So,
Did you say say 6 or 7 for me?
That was a 6 for you. Now, I'm going to start with my left. So House Orion, your dexterity score increases by 2. And one other ability score of your choice will increase by 1. And then you now know, on top of your spells that you already know, 2 extra. If you don't already know them. So write these down and read up on them.
Okay.
Expeditious Retreat. And Jump.
How high?
What does the spell say?
Thank you for.
I like that. Yes, I got it. Now, Barclays. House Galander. Your charisma score increases by 1.
Hell yeah.
You now know, if you don't already, the spells Goodberry and Sleep.
I'll help you find them
What
later.
level is sleep? What?
Level 1.
Yeah. What?
I'll help you find them later. Just write them down.
No, but what if I already know them?
Nothing.
You will not get an extra. So it's about, if you don't know them already, they are additions. But if you do, then it doesn't double, essentially. Gunner. Your intelligence score increases by 2. And one other ability score of your choice by 1. You now know Identify and Tensor's Floating Disc. House Vidalis. I really always feel like I'm saying something out of Game of Thrones when I do that, when I say that.
Yeah.
It does sound the coolest.
Your wisdom score increases by 2 and one other ability score of your choice by 1. You now have Animal Friendship and Speak with Animals.
And Amara gets a participation award.
Amari, you're meditating currently.
I'm making jokes. It's fine. You don't have to come to me.
No, it's your turn. Amara, as you close your eyes, you're taken away for a moment from the books, and you hear rushing water. As you open your eyes, you see that you're sitting on a rock, a large boulder, with water rushing past it. And you open your eyes and you look beyond, and you see simply a small pond with a light cascade of water. You look around you, you're not in the usual stream that you have normally found yourself in, but there certainly is water. But you're in an unfamiliar surrounding. The water is deep, and it breaks. As breaking out of it, as though just coming up from a dive, you see the smiling face of Sonari. She swims towards you and puts her hands on the top of the rock and sort of leans over it and puts her head on her hands as she looks up towards you, sitting on top of it, looking down at her. She simply smiles. Have you made your choice yet?
About the marks?
About that. About what you're going to do about this thing in your neck.
I'd like it to stop glowing. I don't like that. Like everyone keeps talking about my chest. It's not good.
Well,
But
when you come out of this, all you needed to do was ask.
oh, could you please make it stop glowing?
It is done.
Thank you. Only because I don't want people who aren't my group to notice this.
They will not. Look at you finding things.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you're part of me, so you probably already saw this. But I learned some stuff about the wand.
You shouldn't be afraid of it.
I'm not afraid of it. I'm afraid of its consequences. If it gets into the wrong hands.
That's why she had to protect it. Put it away somewhere safe.
Yeah, but somewhere safe is also somewhere hunted.
They don't know you have it.
Yeah.
If they did, well, we might not be having this conversation.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't be.
But perhaps this is a good thing. I hope it is a good thing. I hope you can then surprise them. You know where it is now. You have both pieces. It is what you do with them now that makes a difference.
I'm gonna go visit the monastery.
You'd better.
Should I tell them?
Yes. More have fallen asleep.
I think
You should know.
I saw that happening. Not physically, just it makes sense.
I was there. You mean when you saw the Dreaming Dark?
And when I went there last, in general, it just the whole place. I did not feel anything like I remember it.
Should she jump? And you look up instinctively and you see it at the top of this small cascade, a young woman, a young girl with golden hair, white dress, looking directly at you.
Did you?
Hmm?
Did you jump?
I was just here. If she does, then she goes under, into the darkness. She's then vulnerable. But if she doesn't, there's little hope that she can find the strength to emerge again.
I think that's something that I've been feeling for a while now, but am not strong like you to recognize, is that I guess we all have to jump.
Find
Otherwise, we don't know if we're going to resurface.
And as you watch, the young girl falls and disappears under the small pond's waters. Find strength in doing other things. Ilyana will always be here, Amara. I'll always be here. I'm you. And the other way around. But we still need the strength to face them.
There was something that I don't know if I've brought up with you yet. That, and you would have heard it since you're a part of me, but one of these prophecies I was given showed me and forgive me if I'm not articulating this properly, there's been a lot going on, that there was this strange weight imbalance of, in destroying the Dreaming Dark, there may be big sacrifices to the Kalashtar. And I don't know if that was placed there to scare me or if it's true, but it is a lot of the reason that I haven't jumped yet. Because as much as the Dreaming Dark needs to be destroyed, I don't want our people to be.
Perhaps you simply need a push. So hear this. She cannot emerge anymore from the water. They've taken her. And with that, you appear back in the library. Your eyes are open just abruptly, with a hand on your shoulder, interrupting whatever conversation that was. And you look back and you see Feriso turn his hand away for a moment and say, "Sorry. I apologize. I was just letting you know your friends are coming." And as you look over everyone, you all emerge from the rooms. Simply seems to have been minutes. And you appear with a cool feeling where your dragon mark has been placed. Feriso turns to you all and says, "How are you all feeling?"
Good.
Did it hurt?
No.
No more than a standard tattoo.
I have one of those.
Then you'd know. It wasn't as bad as what you may have thought. Did you pick a house?
No, not yet.
Interesting. Your decision's your own.
I had a discussion with Feriso about it. I don't know. I'll pick one. Maybe not now.
We can always come back, Amara.
I think that might be best for now. I want to make the right decision, and I don't think I can make that now.
Do you appear perplexed? Or are you showing it?
Just to clarify, DM question. Did Feriso say that the other house, members of the house are leaving soon?
No, they said they could wait.
Alright.
I would say more solemn is the right term. I want to go see my monastery first. I'll make my choice after. You guys don't have to come with me, like, when I come back. You guys can go shopping for some herby herbs.
I already got mine.
Yeah, but you might need a top up by then.
As long as you join me.
No.
Amara, I know we don't speak as much as maybe the others, but I feel as though the monastery and the business you have there is important to you.
Yeah. It's it's my entire life.
It's been put to the wayside for some time with the events that have been happening. Maybe we should take the time to investigate this further.
I mean, yeah. I agree, but at the same time I think what we've done has been far more pressing. Well, no, that's not the right term. This is pressing. This is my race.
It's true your words lie to you. The expression on your face.
But I think we have done what we should have so far.
I too would like to see a monastery. See if it's as good
I
as
forgot you and Rook didn't come with me that time.
No.
It was just Gunnar and Barclays. You played music there.
Yes.
Some of them liked it.
Most of them didn't. But that's okay. Hopefully they feel better these days.
I would say
They feel the same.
they probably feel worse.
Alright. Should come up with a different tune.
Hey, is my chest glowing?
Nope.
I say that out loud at the same time, but only to this group, very quietly.
Yeah, you got it covered up, don't you?
Kinda, yeah.
Can I see it?
You cannot.
No.
Off topic. Barclays, can I clarify? Did you have any of those spells already? Both of them?
Yeah, I can't find Goodberry, but I swear I've seen it before. But I definitely have sleep.
You have
so-
sleep. So just be just be aware. You actually will get another instance, a separate instance of the sleep. Sorry, I needed to clarify. So you'll get it. Essentially, you get it twice. So what that means is, when you can normally just cast it the one time, or however many times you're able to cast it at first level, you'll get an extra go, if you want it.
Oh, okay,
If
right.
you already have the spell.
Yeah, okay, but hang on. So it wouldn't use a slot.
Correct.
So I get to use it once, and then if I use it another time, it uses a slot.
Essentially, yeah.
You can only cast it with that ability at its minimum level, right?
Yes, yeah, at the minimum level. Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's
you
good to know.
and you get Goodberry. So I just want to clarify that. The Archmages come out as well, and you do see Malestra. And she sort of takes a beeline towards you, Thor. It is good to see you again, Thulrom.
Indeed, it's good to see you as well.
Is Barclays jealous?
She is glancing back and forth towards you. I have information for you.
Speak.
Someone knows you here.
Whole city's heard of our exploits.
No,
I hold up the newspaper. You're a
not Thulroms Five. You. They call for you.
I tend the others. That's probably not good.
Why
ha-
not?
I have heard whispers from. Do you know the Boromar clan?
Dwarves, as
Halflings, actually.
survived. No.
They reside in the lower quarters. They are looking for you.
Do you know why?
They have someone, apparently. They have found them. Wandering corvette from some place known as Dreadhold. She gives you a little bit of a smirk at that.
I'm going to say thank you. And did they mention how I could get in touch with them?
They simply said, go to Khalistan, the district in the lower Dura. There, someone will point you in their direction. They will find you, the Boromar clan.
Thank you for this. Thank you for this information.
This dwarf says your name, and he, the one that they have captured, and he is sick.
In the city, he is sick.
Yes.
That's deeply concerning.
Why would he ask for you, Thulrom?
I do not know. There was a sickness in the north where I came from, and it's concerning if it's here in the city.
Very. It goes very easily from person to person. But why you? I wonder. And that is what I ask. You come to me with any information.
I'm a healer and a priest of Ada.
They,
It's
s-
not odd for dying men to ask.
they speak of you not for your healing,
That also is not uncommon.
but they speak for your name for vengeance.
That sounds right.
Have we heard any of this before? Is this new information to us? Are we like, what the fuck?
She's speaking softly, but you can overhear the conversation, and no, you have not heard of this. What you have heard is the rumors of these headless,
Yeah.
exploding-headed people in Moral Holes.
I'm more mean specific to Thulrom.
No. Will you let me know what they say?
I will speak to them.
Be careful. The Boromar clan is a thieves' guild, one that has far-reaching power. Get what you go for and get out. Khalistan, do not forget it. And she
You
turns.
should write it down, Thulrom.
And she turns and goes back to the rest of the Arcanix 12 that are speaking, and then Feriso looks around and stretches his shoulders. So, what are your movements now? As the other archmages and representatives seem to now start to spread themselves out a little bit and go to respective areas of the room. Some take a book out and start to mutter amongst themselves off the shelf. Others just sit. You do see as well from other doorways these people bringing in refreshments, drinks, small pieces of fruit, and they are just having a bit of a rest themselves.
We go to Amara's temple first.
My people are in trouble.
There are some other people in trouble, some halflings.
What about our fate?
Yeah, good point, Gunnar. I was going to bring this up. Feriso, I hate to take advantage of your power. However, we haven't seen Osei or Regav Cell since the arena.
Shall I bring them here?
You don't have to bring them here. I mean, I would love to see them. That would be great. Correct me if any of you are wrong. Would you like to see them?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I also, their safety is paramount. I don't want to put them in danger by bringing them here.
You will not. This is a safe place here.
Okay,
Shall I?
Yes,
please.
It would be good to see Osei.
And
And Regav.
Yes.
he simply closes his eyes for a moment and silently nods every now and again. And you see, as though simply already there, moments pass, and from around the corner of one of these shelves comes what looks to be Regav and Osei side by side and beaming. Oh, hi! Hi!
Every time.
Oh, this is so nice to see you all. Oh, and Regav, this big form runs up, and you can hear the clump on the ground. This big furball just embraces you first, Gunnar. He lifts you off your feet and and plonks you onto the ground. Thormy gives you an enormous slap on the back, very close to a hidden dragon mark that's still a little bit raw. He just gives you one of those really nice Roman arm shakes both of you, Barclays and Rook, and he nods respectively in your direction, Amara.
I'm gonna give him a cuddle.
And you
He
guess.
shakes my hand. I want to tickle his elbow.
Okay, all right. You can't
feeling
actually
in that.
reach his elbow. His arm is quite large, but you tickle what you think is sort of up here, upper forearm, and he embraces you, Amara. Oh, this is so good to see you all. How are you? I hadn't seen you since the arena. Are you all right?
Yes, how did you make it out alive?
This lady, and Osei sort of hiding behind him a little bit embarrassed, and she comes around him and she says, "Yes, I was somehow able to resist whatever incurrence of the mind that affected the rest of the crowd, and I simply guided him back, and apparently the distance was key, and I was able to bring him back to a state of mind." Oh, she's just being humble. I was apparently ready to beat everyone up, and I could have succeeded if it wasn't for her. Oh, she's just a charm.
You could have succeeded. You count yourself a brawler?
Oh, I can. No, I can't. I'm not very good at that sort of thing. But I'm just inherent with my. I guess. I'm just worried what I'd do.
That's interesting to note that the effects of the creature wore off once you got far enough away from it.
Yeah. Apparently, well, what I was reading in the Korenberg, that seemed to affect the same as everyone else. So what now?
Guess we're going to my temple.
Oh, yours. Oh, that's swell. Shall we come with you if you need some help with anything, or?
I just don't want you guys in danger.
Thank you, but Feriso has actually been really accommodating, and we're safe. We've been holed up, not in our place or our shop, but just one of his. What do you call it? And Feriso says, it's a hideaway. A hideaway. That, yeah. So it's just somewhere in the upper city. We get blindfolded, all that sort of thing. So we're fine. We're gonna go back there once we're done in our little discussion. If you don't need us until things smooth over, I hear there's some sort of activity north of Sharn with armies and stuff. Maybe when they leave, we'll go back to our normal activity.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
In Feriso's head, I'm gonna say, hey, I've just thought of this. Do you know anyone that can cure vampirism?
Back in your head, you hear, you can kill someone and bring them back to life, or attempt to, or you can cast quite a powerful spell, which none of the 12 know or have the ability to cast. There are hermits. There are evil beings that are quite powerful that hide away because of their powers that might be able to help. But I would not count on them to simply do so without payment. And this payment can be in the form of not gold, but your very lives in exchange. You do well with being very cautious there.
I say nothing back.
Okay then, so what are we gonna do? Are we coming with you? I feel like if I can just go back and find something to back to my shop. Obviously, you're welcome to come and visit, and we can discuss anything else you might think may be useful to you if I've got it available. Osei was thinking that she may come with you regardless of what you do, whether you like it or not. She's just pretty keen on making sure that you're safe. She looks like she can defend herself. But me, I think I need some defending.
I think that's a solid plan.
That does sound like a good plan. Perhaps you should wait in your shop for us.
Okay, well, I'll do that. And if you need
Her
anything...
name's Osei, not okay.
Oh, I misread that. Sorry. I have a script here. I didn't get it. So if you need anything illusionary, if enchanting, potions, how are you going with potions?
My stock is low.
Well, you know where to go. Give you a good deal. I still need to keep trading. It's a shop. It's a business. You know what I'm saying. So please feel free to come by. Give you a great discount. And we'll just discuss the odds and bobs from there. How's it sound?
That sounds good.
Okay. Well, I'll get going. Look, it's nice to meet you, everyone. I didn't know who you were, but I'm Ragav Sel. It's really nice to meet everyone. He sort of just waves at the general people in the vicinity. Okay. And he turns and starts to purposefully walk out. Osei, with her bloodshot red eyes and her pale white skin, her black hair tied in a ponytail, long ponytail, watches him go and looks at you all and says, "Well, it is good to see you all. It has been some time, and I do wish I was able to assist during the fight, but I feel like my immediate concern was Ragav. He's a good person, helpful, violent when something else overtakes his mind. To Ilyana then."
I guess so.
I feel like this is the best course of action.
It's time to leave this place.
Very well.
Might you need to collect anything before we head there?
I have everything I need right here.
Friends.
Friends.
That's what friends are for.
As you all then decide to leave and head to the Temple of Ilyana.
Oh, just on the way out, I just like speaking to my cuff. I'm like, I'll be back.
Wait.
In your mind,
Oh, never mind.
That goes to a special someone.
in your mind, you hear
Like,
a reply.
Barclays, I'm standing right next to you.
You hear a reply, and the reply is, "Make it quick." And as you all leave the confines of this room and the Mulgrave University, a feeling washes over you, Amara, of a young blonde girl falling into blackness and not finding a surface to land, and falling out of sight, and others falling around her, sleeping, dreaming of nothing and lost. And you tear your mind away from that thought and look ahead, and you see the rest of your friends move, and you move with them to Ilyana's temple, which we're going to pick up next week, and that's where we're going to end it this evening. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Last reminder to the stream. We're giving away some dice. This is a Titan. It is Shifting Sands legendary set. It also comes with 12 other pieces. This is the big one.
It's a very big one.
Like, retweet the tweet on Twitter, because tweets go on the Twitter.
It's late, it's fine.
And then rewatch this episode to find the hidden code word to comment, and that's another entry.
Yes,
Can they
you get
see it
another
on-
entry if you
on
get
YouTube as well?
if you know that name.
when we upload it to YouTube, if it's uploaded in time before the giveaway ends.
It won't be. These go up 2 weeks after. We go live on YouTube.
But then Twitch will you can rewatch it there.
You have 2 weeks to watch it on Twitch. So I
Yep.
guess that gives us an end date. I guess it has to be 2 weeks then.
There we go.
There you go.
2 weeks from today.
Well, you
Someone will have this beautiful dice.
That's right.
Well, they won't have them yet. We'll be sending
Well,
We
them
will
and
send them
announcing
to
it.
you.
Well, I mean, if they're in Brisbane, we could probably easily deliver it.
Hey, we'll just drive them to you. It's no
Yeah.
big deal.
If you're local, don't
I'll
worry
show
about
up
the
on your doorstep and I'll be like,
It's Amara.
If you're somewhere else, we'll
it's Jim's dice delivery. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around and hope you enjoyed the episode and its intensiveness. See you next week. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Thanks again, guys. Thanks for those subs too, and have a great night.